Green Hornet. Oh, okay. We're always laughing when we start, which I guess is probably kind of cool.
Well, it's like telling a dirty joke or something.
You have to join our Patreon to get the great stuff.
Pay the privilege to come in and see.
Oh. All right, so everyone, this is Masculine Geek number, are we 19 or 20, Rob? I forget. 20. All right, excellent. So we're Masculine Geek number 20, and we were fortunate to have on John from Modern Life Dating. And as we were mentioning very, very shortly before we talked, that most people listening to this and watching right now know about John and what he does. But for the 4 or 5 that don't, John is going to introduce himself and talk a little bit about what he's all about.
So what's up, guys? I guess most importantly, just to this community, I live in nerd heaven, which is Tokyo, Japan. So I had a dream when I was younger that I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to get out over into a new place in life. I was at a place in my life where a lot of my friends at home were just kind of doing the same thing, just sitting around, smoking weed, getting fat. You know, a lot of I come from a lot of a rich area where a lot of kids they have super rich parents. So, you know, I'm a very driven and motivated guy, and you know, if you stay around a bunch of losers, you're going to be a loser. Just to be completely honest and upfront about it, right? Mm-hmm. So when I was 26, I was 20, like 20. It was like early 20s when I decided, you know, okay, I'm going to go to college just to get my degree, just to get a visa, just to get over here into Japan. And I made it happen. And then I think, you know, as a lot of people may or may not know, I grew up without a father, and I grew up very, very poor. And I grew up in an abusive household, and it was very unstable. And I was able to get out of that just using pure masculinity, like determination, grit, discipline, and all the way up to like a Fortune 500 Japanese company, to which I quit, and I started Modern Life Dating and did that full time. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this full time now. So my message, you know, primarily it is to help guys figure out the part of dating in their life, because my philosophy is this: dating is a skill, and you can maximize that skill by how much, like, we're on Masculine Geek, so I'm going to talk like a video game, okay? Like, you can put all your experience points and max out your dating skill meter. It is possible. It is possible in life. I've done it. I have done it. And every man in this planet, sex is important to him. The degree of where sex is important to him it varies man to man. However, ultimately, every man has this desire and this need for sex, and you know, it's up to me to help teach the guys that, hey, this is a skill that you can learn, and that you can, you know, you can have, and you can actually choose a woman. Because when you have the ability to date multiple women, what that does, it refines your taste, and that allows you to actually decide in your heart what kind of woman brings you the most fulfillment. And that is the ultimate. That's like the mantra of Modern Life Dating. I always tell the guys, make money, make muscles, learn game.
Excellent. Now, before we dive even further, something you just said about women, and it is important even in the geek realm. Now, what would you say to because I know a lot of in the past and even now, a lot of guys say, well, dating a lot of women or going out to do what you just described, that's not me. I can't do that. That's and a lot of guys, especially in the tabletop gamers, role playing gamers, computer gamers, they're just that social anxiety is so. I guess Rollo calls those buffers, where you make excuses for yourself.
Right.
What would you say to them? Like a quick tip to say, look, like, no, that's not.
So, I mean, here's the deal. I've spent I've spent thousands of dollars on Yu-Gi-Oh, okay, on Star Wars miniatures and Dungeons and Dragons, okay. I have gone to meetups. I I lose my mind when I roll a D20, and
Nice.
I lose my mind. Okay. All I'm saying is this, guys. It is possible. The ultimate man, the thing about being a man, and it's the hard truth. Okay, you just got to keep it real. The truth about being a man is whether your life is amazing or whether your life is complete trash, no matter what, it's 100% your fault. Therefore, it is very empowering because that means as a man, you have the ability to learn dating, learn skills. And if you have enough willpower and determination, you can do it. It is easy to get laid. All you need to do, especially nowadays, because girls are giving out pussy like nothing. The market is flooded with girls that are
the bar is very low.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. If you like, let's say we start off with a kid, right? 18 years old. Okay, 18 years old, you go to do some programming boot camps for like 12 weeks. And after 12 weeks, you land a job, 60 grand a year, right? You're 18 now you're 18 years old, you're making 60 grand a year. You start buying yourself a house, you buy a foreclosed property house, boom. Now you're 18, you have salary, and you have a house that you live in. And you're progressing in your career. All right. By the time you're 20, every other 20-year-old around you is going to be doing every drug and every party scene and every which way to, cool thing it is at the moment. They're going to be broke. And here's you could be a 20-year-old king of a very small mountain. But if you continue down that path, it's just going to be an ongoing path of excellence that is attainable. A lot of the thing is the problem is because I don't know if you guys know, but I have my bachelor's in science and psychology, and I've studied psychology, and I've gone on over 500 dates with 500 women. So I have a lot of psychological data. In regards to that, I have also done a lot of service-based jobs. I was a taxi driver in Hawaii. I was an English teacher in Japan and several regions of the country, in which I would be meeting 1,000 people, new people a month.
Nice.
Worked in Olive Garden, worked in nightclubs. So humans are my thing. So I have all this data in my head. And what I'm trying to say is that, it is definitely a learnable skill. One thing I noticed about there's people badmouth MGTOWs and stuff, but I don't badmouth MGTOWs. I'd say at least MGTOWs are doing something. However, I believe that the solution that MGTOW offers is not the correct solution. I think that
Agreed.
You can definitely apply, because you're MGTOWs, you're so self-righteous and you're so smart, right? Okay, then use that intelligence and dig a little deeper and know that you can structure your life around getting what you want, whether it be women, sex, money, whatever. You could do it with enough time, effort, and consistency. I had coached a guy the other day, 45 years old, and he's been having trouble, right? My coaching sessions, $70, okay, 1 hour. This guy makes $150,000 a year, and he's having trouble with women. I had one coaching session with this guy. He hits me up the next day. He's like, "You're not going to believe what happened." I was like, "I probably won't, but let's hear it." He said, I met a girl, and I met her off of a website. We went to a place. We had one drink. I told her I had a dog and she should meet him, which is a strategy I told him. Brought her back to his place. She said she took her top off, started giving him a lap dance, and had sex with him. She was 19 years old.
Nice.
He's 45, and he's like that. He got me on Skype. He's like, "Dude, that shit has never happened to me." So if I can help these guys who are 45, older men, and anything that people would use as an excuse, if this guy can do it, why can't you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's a good success story, and kind of funny actually too. The first day.
Yeah.
That first after one call, that's
Same
great.
night lay. Good shit.
And that's a good confidence builder for him too.
Yeah, no. When I talked to him, he had he's got a smile ear to ear.
I'll bet. Yeah, cool. Good for him. Good for him. Now, you also offer a body language course as well for guys that are just really essentially clueless about women's body language.
Yes. So here's what it is, and I offer a direct 1 month coaching session with me, where I'm like your big brother, your father, whatever. Like basically, so I have the background in psychology, and I have the background in just womanizing. I've been with, I'm 10 women shy away from 200 at the ripe age of 33. It's just what I do. Like, some people, they play games, some people, they do CrossFit. I womanize, right? It's just my thing. And I've made peace with that, because for a while I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I'm such a bad guy for this, and I've got to change my ways. And then I just thought, like, one day existentially, I was like, no, I'm not that important. I'm not killing people. I'm not robbing people. I'm just having a lot of sex with a lot of women, and I'm just gonna keep riding this train until the wheels fall off, basically.
Nice.
So, the body language course, after going on all these dates, and I'm also, like I said, I have my bachelor's of science in human psychology. I got that at the University of Central Florida. And after that, I started studying body language as well. And so what I started learning and picking up on all these patterns on dates, I was realizing, okay, girls do this when they want to have sex with me, and girls do this when they don't want to have sex with me. And I also started noticing that when I was working in nightclubs, because I worked in nightclubs for 4 years, and then I worked in Olive Garden for 2 years, then I worked in a pizza joint for 1 year. So all my work was always human based, human interaction. So I'm very well versed in human, like I have a very high EQ, and I can really understand humans very, very well. So what it is that I took the knowledge that I had, and I really peak maximized it when I worked as a taxi driver in Hawaii, because what I would do, this is peak womanizer. You're gonna love this. So, in 2014, I lived on the island of Oahu, and I was a taxi driver in the Waikiki area. And I was so good at the body language and reading these girls that I would literally pick them up, screen them with questions that are like, still corporate PC, okay, and then like see how far she would push the boundaries, and then within the ride, like park my taxi somewhere and have sex with her in the back seat, and then take her to her destination, and then she would pay me for the ride.
Oh my God. That's classic.
I was a Hawaiian gigolo on wheels, right? So
nice. There's definitely I'm sensing there's definitely a book or a novella in that experience.
People are telling me that, yeah.
Yeah.
So and again, here's the thing. And for the guys who watch me, I do a show like you guys. I do my show, Interview with the Man. It's every Monday to Friday. I do it on my show at 9 a.m. Eastern time. 9 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So those guys know me. I'm not saying this to brag, okay? Because my goal here is to help you guys, help men. Every man is my ally. I am an ally to all men, and I just want to help men out, because as a guy who grew up without a father, who struggled with my masculinity at when I was in middle school, I really struggled with it, and then thank God I was involved in the church, and I this bad boy church guy who was like pretending to be a good guy, but like fucking all the girls behind the back. He's like, come here, kid, I'm gonna make a man out of you. And that guy helped me out. So anyways, for all that life information, I bundled into a course, and it's a course that I developed called Body Language Mastery. If you go to modernlifedating.com/body language, you can get on the waiting list. There are 4 enrollment periods. Quarter 1 is finished, okay? Now, quarter 2 starts on June 28th, June 29th, June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd. What this course includes is a head-to-toe literal breakdown of a female's body language. If she's sexually interested in you, if she's not sexually interested in you, or if she's warming up or cooling down. This kind of gives you a good way to know, like, hey, is this date, is she just using me for food? Is she just using me for, you know, access to my VIP table? Whatever. You can kind of figure out if the girl is into you and she really likes you, really loves you, or if she's just using you for something. In addition to that, after the enrollment period, which is June 28th, June 29th, June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd. After that, I give the guys 1 week to absorb the information, right? And then we commence with 1 month of webinars. And I offer a webinar in the morning and in the evening. And during these webinars, people in the group come in and they ask me it's a question and answer session, usually about body language, but the last one with Q1 guys, it went insane. Like, we were talking about, you know, sexual domination, financial acquisitions, cryptocurrency, fitness, health, like every single thing that, you know, these gentlemen were interested in. I would give them all the information they needed. And the third and final part that is, I think the best part, is you get access to the men's only Facebook group. Now, you are entitled to it, but in order to enter the men's only Facebook group, you must be interviewed by me, because I have to screen all members to make sure no dirtbags are getting in, because we have high quality men in there, super high quality men. We got guys trading cryptocurrencies and making thousands of dollars at the moment. We have guys getting so much sex that are now they've got to the point, like, they didn't get any sex. Now they got too much sex. And
now they're overwhelmed.
Now they're oversexed, and they're like, hey, do you guys ever, like, delete all your dating apps and take breaks? Or do you guys ever, like, what is the meaning of sex, really? So I'm watching the full existential crisis occur. So it's beautiful.
Nice.
So you get access to that too. And it's $397. It's only available for 5 days. After Q2, it goes up to $497 in Q3. And in Q4, it becomes $597. And then after that, it's off the market.
Then you shut the doors.
Yeah, because my brand is blowing up. I'm getting subscribers every day. You guys see me in the Red Man group. I'm going to be speaking in Poland. Peter S. is a fan of mine. He's actually bought a ticket to come see me in Poland at the 21 convention as well. So things are blowing up. And I peeked in on your channel here, and I saw what you're doing. And, you know, in the deep depths of my heart, I really am a fucking nerd. So
we figured.
Yeah, so
we figured. You were in the
what?
Yeah, you were that one night. You were in the chat. You were conversing with us and the people in the chat. Like, oh yeah, we got to have you on.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, did you see? I sent it to one of you guys. It was 1 hour long, but when The Last Jedi came out, I did a 1 hour review on just like why that movie was complete trash. And because that's how passionate of a fan is. I put a huge disclaimer at the front, like, this is a dating channel, but I was like,
I need to say this.
I need to say this, dude. I was righteously angry when that happened. I don't know if you guys were, but
a lot of people are. Yeah.
I feel, I don't know. I feel like Rise of Skywalker. I feel like these people in California, I just have no idea what Star Wars is.
Whoa. Did we lose Vince?
Did he drop out?
There he is.
Yeah.
YouTube does that once or twice. It's like this. Yeah, this is like, all right, well, it's a little early. It's actually a little early this time, but we got it out of the way. So, so what was I was saying? Yeah, I have yet to see it, and I refuse to see it. So that's just.
Oh, you have not seen The Last Jedi?
Nope, I'm not. Nope.
Yeah, no.
I saw it, and because of that, I'm nope.
Oh God, it's just like, I literally, like, you ever watch that Japanese anime Death Note?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
So basically, you get this book, right? And you can just like write down somebody's name in there. And as long as you have seen their face and you write down their full name, 6 seconds later, they'll die of a heart attack. I would fucking kill everybody involved in that movie. To top it off, I went so hard. I went so hard on Twitter at Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson blocked me. from
No shit. Oh my god. Nice. You've arrived.
yeah.
Nice. Oh
It was
man.
so bad. It was such a disgrace what they did to Luke. It was just crazy.
Well, he was complete. I mean, I've read some articles, and I even caught part of the interview where he didn't realize he was being recorded, and thought, why did you say yes to this? Did you really need the money?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It was so like when he was drinking the green milk from the tit.
That was I heard about that too. I'm not going to watch it just for that.
No, and that's the thing, because you know what they're trying to do. Okay, this is what they're trying to do in Hollywood. Okay, because look, I have a sales and marketing background as well. Okay, and everybody in sales and marketing knows women are insanely easy to sell to. Like I can be like, hey, do you want to buy these AirPods? Yes. Okay. Be right back. Take these AirPods, dip them in pink lead covered paint, right? I've got AirPods and they're pink. Would you pay twice the price? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Here's the credit card.
Take my money.
Yeah. So they're trying to make this these whole female hero agenda thing is they're trying to force like action movies to take the turn of more female viewers and female empowerment in order to monetize it, sell more merchandise. But it doesn't work because, I mean, look, what is it's the Star Wars ratio of fans is clearly majority male.
Men. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would the percentage be?
I'd say probably 70% men, maybe even higher.
Yeah. And then
let me ask you this real quick. With that scene, because I think I know where you're going, but I want your take on it since we're talking about marketing and selling to women and all that, where he was literally sucking the tit, dick, whatever it was of that thing. How does that market to women? What's the agenda there? What do you think that was all about?
It was
that's some bizarre imagery.
It was disturbing.
Dude,
so what is that? What do you think that is?
That's emasculating too.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Well, because Kathleen Kennedy is just a feminist idiot. Okay.
Well, yes,
she's a feminist idiot, and Ryan Johnson is a little beta male who just wants to suck on her dick to make her happy, right? So what this does is let's be honest, okay? I mean, what is Star Wars? Star Wars is Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Han Solo. We're talking classics, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Star Wars. That's Star Wars. And then you got your supporting characters. The number one are obviously Chewbacca, and then R2D2, C-3PO. Some people say they hate the prequels. I love the prequels.
I thought they were good. They were all right.
I love the prequels. You know, what they're trying to do is shit on Luke Skywalker in order to uplift Rey. That's what they're trying to do. And that's my philosophy. I feel like they're trying to shit on her or shit on him because if you read any of the books, like, you know, when he fought the Yuzan Vong, I don't know how deep did you go into Star Wars?
Not much.
I know the Yuzan Vong stuff you're talking about. Yeah.
And well, Luke Skywalker at one point crushed an AT-AT's head just using the Force alone. Like he's this one of the strongest Jedis in all history. So for him to be beat by Rey in a sword fight on that planet, when Rey she's just some bum from the desert who's just swinging around her stick with no training partners. And here we have Luke Skywalker, who was trained by Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then he was trained by Yoda, right? Two of the greatest Jedis of all time trained him. And you're going to tell me that this chick could just come up out of nowhere and beat him down and develop. It was the typical Mary Sue. And it's not saying that I'm not saying I hate female characters, because, you know, Sigourney Weaver and Aliens was wonderful. I think any guy can agree that movie was fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
Another good female character, there's another one. I'm trying to think of it. The mother even I think she got killed, but the mother in Shining, she was a good, strong female character as well.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Linda Hamilton too in Terminator.
Yeah, can't forget her.
Yes, exactly. Sarah Connor.
Yeah, she has a twin sister lived here in New Jersey, actually. Pretty funny.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I am in the armpit of America.
Donovan Sharp's in New Jersey.
Is he? I thought he was in Philly. He's in Jersey?
No, he's in Jersey. Yeah, he's in Jersey.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have to reach out to him. I see him on the Red Man group with his Voltron shirt. There's a nerd lurking in there.
Yes.
Oh yeah. He has his own nice studio in New Jersey too. Like his whole room's a big studio.
Oh wow.
Well, it's like I've said, Vince, when you look at all these different guys doing all these different shows, and we're all talking red pill and masculinity, they're all some form of geek somewhere, because
we did talk about that. Yeah.
That we've figured out how to, hook up a microphone and a camera and put up a background or whatever and throw a show on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's easy to do, if you are like not a geek at all, you'd be like my dad, where it's like, what do I do? I have no fucking clue.
You call somebody, but no, you're right. There's a little bit of even
Geek
at the very least, some kind of computer geekery involved in everybody.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're men. We can do it.
Yes.
Absolutely. and proud of it.
Hell yeah.
So what are you drinking there, John? You got your coffee?
This is a cafe latte from a very exotic location called 7-Eleven.
They have those in Japan.
There's 7-Elevens in Japan?
Dude, I think 7-Eleven owns. I think Japan owns 7-Eleven now.
They do.
Oh, no. Oh,
they
wow.
do. They actually do. They bought them years and years and years ago, like 2-3 decades ago. They bought them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was giving an English lesson to this higher up logistics president in Hitachi, and we were just having business conversation. When I was teaching, I'm teaching business English to the guy. And he was like, yeah, 7-Eleven's a Japanese company. I was like, no, I was like, it's an American company, but it was bought by Japan. And he's like, Mr. Johnson, you're wrong. I was like, no, I was like, I think it is. And then, he's the client. So I was like, you know what? I was like, Mr. Hashimoto, I was like, I think you're right. I was like, thank you for correcting me. That's how you handle things in Japan, right? And then the next lesson, he comes back. He's like, Mr. Johnson, I'm very sorry. I have to tell you something. He's like, you're correct.
Nice.
I'll bet that pissed him off, actually.
Oh, yeah, it did. It was fucking hilarious. Have either of you guys been to Japan?
Nope, not yet.
No, I would like to go. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And Rob, where are you in the USA?
I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. So Midwest, west-ish end. So I'm about 2 hours earlier than Vince. So it's
Utah's
like
nice,
9:30.
though.
Oh yeah.
Utah's nice.
Yep.
And
not according to Aaron.
Well, what does Aaron know? He doesn't know anything.
That's true. Oh, and TJ's out in Washington area, but he's not here tonight. He is actually traveling. So
okay. So
if you're in one shithole, TJ's in the other shithole. So,
how long ago did you guys start this show? And what was the goal and then the thing you guys wanted to pull off?
We started this January this year. It's only 4 or 5 months old.
Oh wow, me too. So, I started Interview with the Man. I had my YouTube channel since 2015, but I started the Daily Show on January 21st.
Okay.
So nice. Yeah, definitely. And why did you guys start it? What was the reason?
Fundamentally, to keep the integrated man. The man that has what we just talked about, the masculine man that has all different aspects of his life, and he still keeps that integrated with his geek life, and is proud of it, is not ashamed of it, and can teach other men and be mentors to other men, even in the geek realm.
Yeah. And
to be proud about it.
Yeah. No, there's nothing more dangerous than a fucking geek that also has a gym regimen training.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because most of the guys in my community are smart guys, right? Because I know I come off like brash and stuff, and I I cuss a lot on the Red Man group. Rolo doesn't like that. But you know, it's just because I'm so authentic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in today's day and age, you know, not to get all Alex Jones on you, but I've been saying it for a couple years, and I think it's just becoming more and more evident. But you know, once you live outside of the West, right? Once you live outside of United States, Canada, and the Western Europe, you go outside and you realize that like people actually are celebrating the fact that you're a man compared to the United States. Like it seems to me, and you know, I did smoke a lot of weed in my life, so this could just be paranoia. But you know, I believe that there is some sort of an agenda against men, and predominantly straight white men, because there are people actively just saying this. I know. What do you guys think about that? Is that
I agree. I actually agree that
Oh yeah.
you see it everywhere. You know, you see it on social media, you see it in whatever clickbait and whatnot, but it's okay. Everyone's a protected class now, except straight white guys.
Yeah.
You know,
And
straight white guys.
everything is our fault.
Yeah, we're the white devils. It's all our fault. Everything going back to the beginning of time is our fault. And in fact, not only is it okay to shit on white straight men, but you're encouraged to. In fact, you're probably not a good enough human being unless you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've seen.
No, you're right. I'll co-sign on that. And it's sickening.
Yep.
I remember seeing this back when I was in my teens watching sitcoms and the rise of the bumbling father,
the buffoon
father that has to be rescued by his wife, and not only that, by his children.
Yeah.
Now, in isolated instances in someone's life, can a man's wife and his children call him out on some kind of behavior? Well, of course. Yeah. But fundamentally, no, that man is leading the house. That's the way it goes. And some people will say, "Oh, that's misogynistic." No, you don't understand the word of misogyny. You're a moron. Is it sexist? All right, well, fine. Put whatever you want to it. I don't care, and I'll stand by it. Yeah, I've seen it. It's happened in my own life in the past when I was married. I've seen it in my family, and I've seen it friends, coworkers. If the man is not leading his house, I'm sorry. It's not going to work, and it doesn't work. And people can rail against that. I don't care.
That's Vincent, you're spot on, dude. You are spot on. It's funny you mentioned that because I literally did an entire show on that exact topic, because here's like the hierarchy is this, okay? The man is the captain of the ship, okay? The wife is the first mate, and all she says is yes sir to the captain. And maybe if she sees an iceberg, she's like, hey, there's a fucking iceberg, just in case you missed that, like, you know, steer the ship. The children, they're grunts. Swab the fucking decks, shut the fuck up, don't do drugs, cut the lawn, learn. You have no rights, you have no authority, like shut the fuck up, right? Now what they have done is they have completely inverted that. And you can see it on television, okay? I'll take two TV shows, for example. The Simpsons and Family Guys. Who are the smartest characters? Lisa and Stewie with the children's. Second smartest, Lois, Marge.
And the damn dog.
And the dog. And then the dumbest are the fathers, which are Homer and Peter Griffin.
Yep.
And it's the complete opposite in real life. And that's why I've gotten to the point that I believe that there is some sort of agenda. And it's getting to the point now that like the father has so much like if you're good at sizing people up, you can watch these fucking interviews where you see these retarded mothers listening to their 7-year-old boy who's like, hey, mommy, I think I'm a girl. And she rushes him off to the doctor, and she's like, inject him with hormones, like, and he's a girl. We're gonna make him a girl. Like, a kid he can't even wipe his own fucking ass. Like he can't. He's not. You should not be taking him.
He's developmentally incapable of making that decision.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
If I have 2 nephews, right? And if I was like, okay, what do you want to do? They're like, we want to eat Nutella using our hands and play with the iPad all fucking day until we pass out in our filth, and then we'll just wake up and do it again. That would be terrible for them. Their teeth would rot out. They'd become idiots,
obese, and diabetes. All that shit would come into play eventually,
and it just would be terrible. So the children need to be guided. And again, talking about the geek side of stuff, I have the science background. The empirical evidence is a crushing mountain when it talks about what is happening, not only with the divorce and how divorce fucks up children, but the staggering, massive gap between what happens when a single father raises children and what happens when a single mother raises children. Because I was raised by a single mother, and her sister was also a single mother with 3 kids, right? And my mom, my family, my mom has 3 kids with 3 different guys. Okay, so it was me, I was first, and then my sister, and then my brother, all 3 different fathers, right? So, and this was her like kind of trying to be independent on her own, right? Being raised in that environment, it was absolutely crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I went to 4 different elementary schools. I went to 3 different middle schools. Finally, I got some stability in high school where I finished out in one high school. But this whole, like, you see some propaganda like, oh, this one boy, he created this and that, and he was able to create some amazing engineer product because he was raised by a single mom.
No, in spite of that,
like people don't understand what a bell curve is, and he was on the far end of the bell curve. So that's why I'm so like passionate about telling men it's okay to be the leader, because like Japan, people like think Japanese guys are pussies and stuff, and it's like physical aspects. Yeah, they are. In my jiu-jitsu gym, a lot of these dudes, I just throw them around because there's no violence in them. It's a pacifist country. However, the way these Japanese dudes treat the girls, they are gorilla pimps. Like, they'll let the girls know, hey, you're 120 pounds right now. I really want to see like 115. Like, you're getting a little fat. And like, and the results, if you guys ever come to Japan, dude, I lived in the nightclub district for 1 year, which was a terrible idea. It was awesome, but it was fucking terrible.
Trying to get any sleep.
No, I did not. It's Roppongi, right? I lived in Roppongi, and that's where a lot of celebrities live too. And I moved to like some podunk area just to build this business and kind of calm down, because I'm like a fucking child. Like, if I see sparkling lights or whatever, I'm just like, oh, there's women and alcohol in that direction. Like,
look, a squirrel.
yeah. So nice. I'll do that. I'll run over there. So I moved to a more secluded area that just has like a meat shop that I go to buy some steaks and fresh chicken. And above that is my gym. And then there's like a 7-Eleven across the street. And I moved here. And even in this isolated area, there's fucking hot girls everywhere. And that's because of the way the dynamics here are. I think there's a big problem right now in the United States because women are the ones initiating divorces. Women are the ones destroying the families, and the government is the one backing it up, and media is doubling down on it. And divorce and stuff like that, if you travel around the world, divorce is not common. Like, people stay with their families. This loneliness epidemic is because the families are fucking breaking up. And life, as fucked up as my family upbringing was, I still love my mom and my brother and my sister to this day. And they're my family. And there is a special part of my heart that lights up when I spend time with my family, when we sit around a table, when we make some jokes, when somebody spills a drink at the table and we all tease them. Like, you know, there's just something special about that. That is family. And it seems like they're trying to destroy the family unit in the West, with the combination of the media and the family court system, in my opinion. But that's what I'm just thinking is, I could be completely wrong, but that's where I'm leaning towards, is what in regards to what's going on right now.
Well, that and the courts, with the way the legal statutes here, at least in the United States, are, the women are incentivized between the welfare state of the state being the provider now, and them being sold the bullshit about, you know, your career is more important than anything. They're being incentivized, like with the way the laws originally started out with, you know, you had the no fault divorce, all that showed up, so that, you know, you don't have to have a reason to get divorced anymore. Yeah. But then the courts originally, the laws, it was all about the welfare of the child. And that initial incarnation would be accurate. It would be good. Okay. But it's gotten to a point where the courts are incentivizing the women to, you know, they're I don't know if it's, I wouldn't say that it would be intentional, but definitely unintentional. They're weaponizing the women, because you can get more money out of the guy if you lie and say he's a piece of shit and he's abusive and this, that, the other, so on and so forth. And they always come back to, well, the best interest of the child.
Which is bullshit.
You're absolutely correct, but that's, unfortunately, that's the direction that everything is right now. Women can kind of have their cake and eat it too, because they can provide for themselves. They don't need no man, fish, bicycle. They can take a guy right out of the equation, zero him out, get half or more of his you know, his money, his wealth, his assets, whatever it may be. And it's incentivized by the courts, because all you have to do is say how hard you've got it as the so-called independent, you know, strong, empowered woman. Right. But I need his money because of the child.
Right.
You end up having, the child becomes a pawn in this war on the family unit. And of course, the family unit is being destroyed. This is not paranoia. You're 100% right, John. And it's because I'm going to throw the term out. I've seen it show up in the chat earlier, but it's kind of globalism, global homo is the term I saw.
Yeah.
But at least in the West, with globalism, they don't want the family unit, because the family unit can be the most effective thing against anything else, because you are creating your own tribe. You are being kind of your own nationalist, if you want to call it that, to kind of get a little Alex Jones here.
No, but it's true.
If you break all that up, then what you have is, you don't have family, you don't have people anymore. You have consumers.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody wants.
That's the end game.
They want everyone homogenized and everyone a shade of gray, so that you will buy, you will make purchases, you will consume. That is the goal here.
Divorce and feminism is a huge business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's crazy too how they justify it. Like, you know, so my brother is 20. How old is he? He was 27. Okay. He's 27. He's in the United States Air Force. He has 3 children and his wife does not work. Okay. The household income is, they make about a little around $2,000 a month. Right. And he lives on base. So he is raising those boys, two boys and 1 girl. Those kids are educated, well-fed. They're doing everything well. They're not thriving, but he's in the military while he's studying to do mobile app development. But at the same time, they're fine. They're completely fine. Now, how this is related to what I'm talking about is like this. Okay, so we have a family of 5 living off of $2,000 a month in Wyoming. Okay, and the child support that is being paid out to some stars, but by some stars, is ridiculous. Puff Daddy, I believe, pays $50,000 a month.
A month?
In child support.
Whoa.
Okay, so there's some celebrities that are out there that pay $100,000 a month, because what it is, child support is calculated in a manner that is, as any man, if you could say this to any man with a brain, it is illogical. Okay, now child support is calculated like this: they look at the man's annual income, and there's a predetermined amount, like on a sliding scale, that is used for child support. And the child support money, there is no accountability as to how the money is spent.
Right.
Okay, so she could take that and go buy Louis Vuitton. She could buy fucking pure heroin and shoot that shit up, which some of these bitches do. I mean, like, and then that whole thing is under the ruse, the guise, the lie of, hey, this is in the best interest of the children.
Yep. There you have it.
Far from it.
And yeah, and women are beginning to weaponize this. Like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I used to work at a nightclub that was attached to the Orlando Magic's stadium in downtown Orlando called the Amway Arena. And the sexiest, hottest, like, fake tits, injected lips, hot girls, man. They would be out there waiting with their fucking tits up, and like after the basketball game, like trying to get with these dudes, just to get a baby. My friend, she fucking pulled it off. I'm not gonna say her. She's not gonna say her name, okay? But she got with some low-level NBA guy, made him fall in love, had a baby with him, and guess what? He is writing checks for life.
Yep.
Right.
At least till 18.
Yeah, 18 years old, and she got him, and good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. I mean, but that's the thing. Women they're not these innocent angels.
No, they know exactly what they're doing.
They are qualified paralegals. They know this shit. They're like,
Yep.
I used to sleep with this chick, right? And for Eaton, this is a Florida story for you. So this girl, I known her from high school, right? And poor husband. The guy did everything for this lady, everything. And she seen how I would kind of, was just chatting out in my mid-20s. Like, all I did was lift weights and go to the gym and fuck girls. And I worked in the nightclub. And she was like, I married at home, so it kind of got boring for her. So she started sniffing around, and eventually I caved in and ended up sleeping with her a couple times, right? And it became an ongoing thing. And I remember one time when her husband was on vacation, we were in her jacuzzi, and I was like, you don't care about your sons? What happens if you get divorced, whatever? And she's like, oh, no, I've been married to him for 10 years. In the state of Florida, I'm guaranteed alimony for life, so I can really do whatever I want.
Whoa,
and she fucking told me that shit.
Oh, my God.
Okay. While we're on that, I want to bring something up for the people at home that are watching this. Here's a couple things for you guys, going right off of what John just said. Okay. When I got divorced a few years ago, Utah is a no-fault divorce state, pretty much probably like most, if not all the states. I was the one who initiated, so I was the 20% or whatever the number is, maybe less. Anyway, at one point during the divorce, we had a 90-day waiting period because we both signed off on everything. It was, at least I thought it was amicable at the time. Mm-hmm. Well, then she decided to, threaten to throw a curveball and mentioned the magic word of alimony. And that's when it was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go talk to an attorney.
Yeah. Find
out if she's just blown smoke, if she's bluffing, or if she has a case. So now, granted, guys, I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice, but I am going to tell you what the attorney told me. So I go in, I take everything I had, all of the divorce paperwork, receipts that I had about different things that I had done for my end of the divorce. Okay. Number one, he said, good for you for documenting everything. So guys, if you're going to get divorced or, you know, if you're thinking of getting married, hold off for a minute and listen to what I'm about to say. So number one, document everything. Like my ex-wife, I gave her cash money to help her move and get out and do her thing because I wanted her gone. Well, I documented that. I had receipts of me giving her that money. I gave her a car that I am still paying on to this day. But I paid for it outright to get it out from under so that I didn't have to deal with the title company or nothing, and gave her the car free and clear. She ended up wrecking this thing like 3 months later, just demolished this car. But her problem, not mine anymore. What the attorney told me is he says, you got to understand something. When I said to him, could she actually get alimony, even though we agreed originally that that wasn't part of the deal? And he said, yeah, she could. Because here's the deal. Family court, which divorce falls into, does not have the same burden of proof that a civil court does, like if you're suing somebody, or a criminal court does if you violated the law. It comes down to literally whatever judge you get. You could get a judge that he might be sympathetic or she might be sympathetic and be truly unbiased, or as much as any human being could be unbiased. Then again, you could get someone that's got an axe to grind, or hey, they just want to make their 5 o'clock tea time because they got reservations on the golf course, so they want to get through this quick. A woman or a man, but in family court, there is a lot less burden of proof, a lot less requirement for documentation, a lot more open to interpretation, like that sliding scale that John was talking about, where they base income off of the man primarily. They'll bring hers into a point, even though most of the time it's an afterthought. Okay, it really comes down to an arbitrary decision by a judge who may or may not like you based on your gender. Okay, that is a reality. So document everything. Number two, guys, find out what state you live in. Do they have common law marriage or not? Because if you shack up with someone in a common law state, you could be married even if you think you're not. Utah, I found out, does not have common law marriage, not in the sense of you cohabit for X amount of time and, well, now you're automatically married. Utah does not have that. And the other one you want to check into is, again, with what state you live in, is it a community property state? If you live in a community property state, such as Nevada is a good example, that basically means that if you guys live in that state for whatever the period of time is, you're a resident there, half of your assets now go to her if you get divorced. Half of her debt now goes to you if you get divorced. Where a state that is a non-community property, you might be able to dodge a bullet. Okay. I was able to dodge a bullet when it came to certain things with my ex-wife because Utah is not a community property state. Plus, I didn't have to sell my house that I had bought way before I met her. Okay. That was one of the things that was one of the few things that I told her, you know, take everything out of the house you want, take every last stick of furniture and every appliance. I don't care, but you're not getting the house.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. Because I had it way before I met her. Okay. But at least in Utah, where we're not a community property state, there is a thing called marital equity that I found out from the attorney, which is from the time that we were married up to the time that the divorce was filed. If the home appreciates, which they typically do, especially if you've done renovations, remodeling, that equity that accumulates during the marriage, she is entitled to half of that. Half of it's yours, but half of it would go to her. But that doesn't mean the house itself is hers or half of the house is hers. We're in a community property state. We're not just talking marital equity. We are talking the house itself, which means either now you have to buy her out, she has to buy you out, or you're selling it and giving her half right down the middle. Okay. So
That's
look
terrible.
into that. Yeah, it is. So common law, I think there's 9 or 11 states that are common law. I forget. It's not a lot. Guys, do your diligence. Do your due diligence. Look up your state laws. All you got to do is type it in. When I typed in Utah's, I just typed in like common law marriage Utah, and it took me right. The first result was right to the government website that showed what they defined as common law. Okay, so it is on you to protect yourself, to find out what is going to impact you if you decide to get married or cohabitate. Okay, because just because you may not throw a ring on her and get the state involved does not mean you're free and clear. So you want to check that out.
Definitely.
Right?
And that's what I tell the guys too, is like, that a lot of people, they believed the Disney lie that everything's going to be honky dory. And honestly, if you have enough game, okay, you can theoretically keep your marriage together. But I really, okay, because honestly, if we were to flip this script, right, and I could go and get married to some girl and cheat on her and then divorce her and then have to have her pay me alimony for the rest of my life, I would be doing that. I would have like 50 girls that I would get married to. I would do that shit like a champ.
Have your harem.
Oh, I would be breaking hearts and breaking banks, baby. I don't give a shit. So that's I think what happened was, because this system is clearly broken, and I think the awareness is slowly trickling up. And now men are not getting married, and American women, it's hilarious. I love watching American women self-destruct, to be honest. I love to watch them self-destruct. It's fucking great. It is absolutely,
watch the world burn.
Break out the popcorn.
I'm watching them. I'm just like, wow, so you're 22 and you're 222 pounds?
Woo.
Awesome. So I will, good Lord. And it's just like, how low can we go? Because we were talking about this, I went to do.
Oh, you're fucking right.
I went to Target, right? So I went to Wyoming in winter to go see my brother and the kids, right? And then I went to Target because I was like, man, I haven't been to Target in like 2 years because I've been living in Japan. I was like, I just want to go take a stroll through Target and feel a little nostalgia. Oof. And I saw the fat mannequins.
Yeah, they exist.
And I was just like, oh my God. And we were talking about this too. And like, again, it is all an agenda. Okay. This fucking X-Men villain, the Blob, Tess Holiday. Okay. This chick is 300 pounds, I believe. Are you familiar who Tess Holiday is?
Unfortunately, yes. With that one shot of her like stuffing her face with a cake.
Oh, disgusting.
That's horrible.
Disgusting. And the reason they're trying to this is Amy Schumer failed, right? Because Amy Schumer was everything was bought and paid for, her fans and everything.
Well, first of all, she's not funny. So
comedians are not funny. They're just fucking bitter.
No, they're not funny at all. What's her face? So with Amy Schumer, they actually, during her Netflix special, I don't know if you know this, 2 things. One, Netflix got rid of the rating special because of her. Because of her.
I heard about that.
And then 2, for her Netflix special, they had to add laugh tracks to it.
Oh God!
Really? Well, that's not kind of a shock, though.
Check it out, because at the end of the day, she's not that funny. But why were they pushing this image of her, and why are they pushing this body positivity thing? This is body positivity to tell somebody that it is okay to be 300 or 400 pounds is the most sickening, evil thing you can do, because you are killing that person at an accelerated rate. And the philosophy, the business philosophy behind this is they want that to be okay, because what is fat? Fat is an overconsumption of calories. And they want these bitches to keep eating and consuming
and money
and buying bigger and bigger clothes because they get fatter and fatter and fatter. And this is like, these are the corporations who are in bed with the governments. And that's what their agenda is against people. Like, do you guys remember the food pyramid?
Yep.
Which
has been debunked.
Yeah, you have to eat. It's have to eat 11 to 15 servings of bread and rice per day. Like,
Oh my god.
like I don't work on a farm. Like, if I worked on a farm, that would work out okay. But that is just absolute. Like, you have to literally turn the thing upside down for it to make complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I just see like that's, you know, modern life dating is, that's what part of the whole thing is. It's modern life and it's also dating, right? And we talk about these kind of things, you know, how a man should live a balanced life, how a man should exercise, how a man should. I mean, like, I see Rob with his arsenal behind him.
Yep.
I'm super jealous, you know, but that's like, you know, I think that's a very important part of being a man, is like understanding truth, understanding what is right, what is wrong, having a sense of justice, you know. And for the guys who may feel like defeated or beaten down or whatever, like, you have to realize that if you're a man, okay, first of all, you hit the lottery because you're a fucking man. Okay, because like, because I don't know any guy that's like, oh, I would rather be a woman and like bleed every month and get pregnant and not be able to deadlift 500 pounds easily. Like, you know, I just would not. No, it's just, I would never, ever want to be a woman. I love being a man. Being a man is awesome. It's fucking great. Like, I literally, as an American man, I have hit the jackpot. But that being said, for you guys, some guys are like self-hating and stuff because maybe they have maybe they're surrounded by an environment, because a lot of stuff on social media, Snapchat, even Twitch, YouTube, everything is all about, like, you know, gay guys are the best, and if you're a macho man, like, that's toxic masculinity. You got to be like either gay or like this like semi-gay in the middle kind of a guy who's like gay but not gay, or you're gonna be toxic masculinity. That's bad. You don't want to be like that. Like, that's what they're trying to paint us as. And it's just like there's a lot of guys who are brainwashed with this stuff, and that's why I think another thing is like that's why there's more shootings and stuff in schools, is because of these guys that are just like from a young age in school being told like, hey, you suck, hey, you're shit, you know, and just like there's not a lot of positive masculine upbringing. I mean, I remember I was a Boy Scout, right? And I was a Cub Scout when I was a Weeblo.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Weeblo, yes.
I was the Weeblo, right? I had all the badges too, man. I was a good little Weeblo.
Dude, do you still have the badges?
Yep.
No, I don't.
Break mine out.
Lost them.
John, you got to put them on your fucking bathrobe.
Yeah, they were it was yellow, red, and green ribbons, and you place the pins on your shoulder, put it on your shoulder, and you place the like almost like merit badges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you remember the science one when you had to swing that bucket of water in a circle?
Yeah.
It's fucking great, man. Some of the greatest times of my life.
I know,
and
right?
Then when we went camping, I'll never forget. I was pack 556, right? And so we are going camping, and they're like, oh, well, we got these like new leaders for the Boy Scouts, and it was like these 3 Spanish women, right? Like, and I was living in Miami at the time, and I was just like, I was like, hey, this is Boy Scouts. Like, why are women here? You know, like, I was like the outspoken kid, and they're like, hey, you shouldn't be saying that, blah blah blah. And anyway, so I went hiking, right? And then so what happened was, the next day I wake up in the morning because I hear some commotion, and these Spanish bitches are fist fighting and beating the fuck out of each other, and I'm just like. And you know, I'm like 10 at the time, and I go home, and my mom's married to my brother's dad at the time, so we had some stability as a family at that point in my life. And she's like, hey, honey, you know, how was camping? And I was like, well, Mrs. Ramirez and Mrs. Gonzalez, they were fighting and pulling each other's hair and scratching each other and yelling in Spanish. And my mom was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, you know. Oh God,
that's great.
And it's just like, you know what, the great thing about the internet is like, it really is exposing female nature. And it's honestly, there's a forceful red pill happening, and everybody's realizing like, hey, you know what, guys really are the better, like, nicer of the sexes. Like, you know, I mean, there are some shitty guys out there for sure. There are some shitty guys out there, but like, you know, like, but I mean, Chris Rock says like, who lies the most, men? But it's like, where were you? I was at Bob's house. And where were you at? I was really at Steve's house. And when a woman lied, she's like, yeah, it's your baby. You know?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So-
the grade of lies.
Yes.
There you go. The weight of the lies.
You know?
Yeah.
So you are an Uber nerd. You've got the Cub Scouts, the Weeblos, and the Boy Scouts. You started early.
Yeah. I didn't finish. I didn't finish the Boy Scouts. I became a Boy Scout. I canoed across. I got the red things, but after that, my mom got divorced, and then that's when we entered like a 5-year strain of poverty that was just like fucking brutal. It was super brutal. But you know, it really talking about masculinity, you know, it really taught me at a young age. It forced me to grow up. I was kind of robbed of a childhood extent. It's because in Florida, when you become 14, you can get a job. So I got a job at a pizza shop. They paid me $5 an hour.
Oh wow!
And I just got it just because, you know, my mom was just like suffering financially because she's, you know, how my mom's from Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, my dad, he was white guy, so he picked her up on the beach in Trinidad. My dad was like 42, 43 at the time. She was 18, and he picked her up. He was like, nice. You know, he's like, that's probably why I'm a womanizer. He was like, hey, He's like, hey, honey, you want to come with me to America? She's like, fuck yeah, get me out of this shithole. So they got married. They had me. And then he left. And then when I was 15, he died. So I never met him. Then he passed away. So I never knew that side of the family. So, you know, that was a very, very difficult thing to handle as a man in regards to masculinity. And so moving forward, that's when I started working. And then that's when I started realizing, you know, that's why, because, you know, a lot of these kids, they don't work anymore. Mommy and daddy pay for everything. Everybody's too safe. Everybody go climb a tree, break your arm. I'll take you to the ER. It's okay. They can fix that shit. Like, you know, like go become strong. But they coddle boys and girls these days. But it's okay to coddle a woman, because I think you should coddle a woman and protect her. But the man, you release out to the elements. You're like, go suffer. A
man has, even at a young age, he has to build himself.
Right.
Yes.
It's like we were talking about Teddy Roosevelt. He had horrible asthma. He was a sickly child, and his father said, "You can read all the books you want and strengthen your mind, but son, you have to make your body. You have to make your body," and that's what he did. Boxing, gymnastics, swimming, rowing the boat, marksmanship, horsemanship, everything.
And so like that, I think the beauty of it is in regards to like what the point I was trying to make is like, you have to get through, like, don't, you know, I said this on my show the other day and I'll say it again. I watched Thor Ragnarok the other day again, and he was telling this to the Valkyrie who ran away, and she didn't want to join him and help him on his breakout. And he's like, well, I'm going to tell you something. He's like, heroes run towards their problems, not away from them. And as men, you need to run towards adversity in your life and your problems and your fear if you want to cultivate the true masculine power that does lie within you. Like, guys, every guy here who says they suck with women or having trouble with women, right? If you go to the gym for 1 year and just work out and just eat steaks, vegetables, and working out for a year, hitting the weights, run 30 minutes every other day, do that for 1 year, 50% of I can get tons of sex is complete with 1 year of time. And for you guys wondering, like I said, I have clients. I got a guy who is in his 50s and he is banging girls in their 20s. And not ugly girls, like girls that I'm like, God damn, I want to be banging them. So I want to let you guys know that you do have the tools within you, because I overcame so much with my suffering and my story. And again, I don't tell my story as into like, oh, please feel sorry for me. I tell my story so that you guys can be like, Jesus Christ, this guy really does have a fucked up life. Or he did.
God damn, I don't want to be John.
But for you guys to say, to say that, hey, if this guy has such a fucked up life, but then he achieved his dream, and it's like, I came to Japan, and that was part of my thing. And, are you guys familiar with the rite of passage in history?
Yep.
RITE.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I was 26 at the time. I had my own business, and I had a piece of property I was managing, and I had a corporate job at Aon Hewitt. Right. Aon Hewitt is $1 billion insurance company. It's a top, definitely a Fortune 500 company. And I was working for them, but I felt so empty inside because I had forsaken my dreams to go to Japan because my friends told me it was impossible. They laughed at me. They made fun of me. They're like, dude, you could never do it. You could never learn to speak Japanese. It's impossible. And I listened to them and I got super depressed. I smoked a bunch of weed and I partied a lot. And I just was trying to put a haze over the fact that I let them get to me. And so what I ended up doing, though, I just was too miserable. So I realized that, you know what, I got to do this because this is my rite of passage. And I said to myself, like, if I can get to Japan and survive for 2 years, 100% on my own, I'll consider myself a real man. That'll be my rite of passage into masculinity. And at 26, I did it. And, I tell you what, though, it's hard, guys. It's very, very hard because I bought a one-way ticket. I destroyed everything behind, sold my truck, got rid of my apartment, sold everything. I put all my belongings in my fucking briefcase, and I literally in my pocket, like Florida white trash, I had $2,500 in cash in my pocket. I'm like, okay, here I gotta go to Tokyo.
I'm here.
Yeah. I tell you what, I got off the plane. I looked around and I said, I have absolutely fucked up. This is the biggest mistake of my life. I was fucking terrified because I was like, like in America, if you see an Asian, like, oh, did you see that? That was an Asian person. Like, well, it was rare, like interesting occasion. Then I came here, I'm like, God damn, everybody's Asian. And like, I'd never been before. I'd never been to Asia before. I just went on this crazy ass thing that I knew was going to be very difficult. But I tell you what, something happened to me 5 months into it. Like one day I just woke up and this is going to sound crazy, but I just woke up with like this clarity and like this peaceful, wholesome feeling, like an epiphany or just like a moment from God or whatever. And I was just like, man, I fucking did it. And then from that moment on, I just kept setting goals that are higher and higher and higher. And I've just been unstoppable. It's like, it's kind of scary now because everything that I set out to do, I've done it. But it was because I put myself through a considerable amount of hell in order to make me suffer. I overcome the suffering. And when you overcome the suffering, you develop character, positive character, if you overcome the suffering in a positive way. And that led me to be the man that I am. And that's why I created the show and I created the channel, because I wanted to be an outlet for guys because a lot of these dating coaches, right? They're really good, like internet marketer guys. And all they do is they sell you bullshit. Okay. My philosophy is this. I want to fix you and I want you to leave. and go out and enjoy your life. And that's what my students do. One of the guys I always talk about is he's very geeky. He's 30 years old. He is a software engineer, and all he does is lift weights and play video games, plays Smash Brothers, and he plays Warcraft, and he goes to like these raves also, right? And when he was on a 1-year dry spell, and he couldn't have sex, and he's a good-looking guy, he's jacked, he's handsome, he's intelligent, but it was just something fucked with his brain. And I coached him. We had 2 coaching sessions, right? So $140, right? And he got into my body language course too, just to get in for support, right? I coached the guy for a total of 3 months. That motherfucker never shows up to watch my show again because he has bagged himself one of the hottest pieces of ass I have seen in a long time. He has fucked this girl's brains out to the point, because I see her on Instagram. This bitch is posting Bible verses. Like, he has fucked the Lord into this woman. she's like quoting like Proverbs 31 and stuff on Instagram. Jeez. And so that's my thing. Like, I don't want to be one of these, because a lot of these dating coaches guys, their business model is this, right? So they sell you one product and like, oh, well, hey, we'll sell you the product that fixes problem A. Oh, but you still have problem B. So
they pull you into that funnel. Yeah.
Yeah. You get on the hook.
Yes. And that's not what I do. I fix men. Okay. I fix men. I see myself. I truly, it's a struggle depending on how I feel, but I see myself floating between an Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like in Revenge of the Sith, right? Ooh, but I'm not killing any younglings. I'm not killing any younglings. Yeah. Sometimes I got angry. Like, yeah, I was out drinking the other day, and this British guy was mouthing off to me in the bar, and we got into it. But it's a little drink, a little fight. That's life.
Yeah, it's supposed to happen.
Hey, I got a question for you, John, since you're over there in Japan, and I'm sure you've had this question before, but I'm just kind of curious because I've heard it kind of go both ways. And I guess I'm asking out of my general curiosity, and probably for some of the dudes in the chat or people who come and see this later that are thinking like you, maybe going to expatriate type of thing. When it comes to Japan, and obviously it's your own personal experience, but where you're hanging out with all the Asians now, what is their, especially the women, what is their take about Western men? Do they find us like, oh, Western men, yay? Or is it like, get the fuck out of here?
Okay, so it depends where you're from, okay? But so Japanese guys, okay, you see how American women treat American men like shit?
Yeah.
That's how Japanese men treat Japanese women.
Okay.
Like complete and utter shit. And that, honestly, I think it's better that way for society, because Japanese society is flourishing. Population aside, I mean, everything here is fucking awesome. Like, I went to the doctor the other day and I got a checkup and some medicine, all for $15.
Wow.
Like, you can go to the dentist, you can get an x-ray, a full cleaning, and an initial examination, $25.
Wow.
So they've got a lot of
that here.
They have a lot of shit here figured out well. But going back to that, when a Japanese girl meets an American guy, they have the image of, oh, he's going to be a gentleman, because American guys are gentlemen. And that's the thing. I of course I might be biased saying this, but like when the French and the Japanese, they have the highest divorce rate, right? When a French man and a Japanese girl gets together, the divorce rate is the highest, right? That's because I got some French friends, but majority of French guys are just ugh. They're like, they've lost every major war, yet they have so much pride. I'm just like, we bailed you out. Napoleon. I mean, yeah, Napoleon was good, but like all wars, Russia
must come to an end.
Yeah, Russia whooped their ass too, right? Russia pretty much won us fucking World War II, and Russia definitely put him back with the whole Russian winter, really, is what defeated them. But going back to that initial question, yeah, they have the statement of that American men are gentlemen. And, you know, to be honest with you, the girls that I have a girlfriend right now, right? And she and I, it's perfect match, right? Because I'm super A-type. I'm super like, I gotta conquer the world. I gotta like kill every fucking dragon. Like, did that guy look at you the wrong way, baby? I'll fucking smash his head into the wall. Like, that's the kind of guy I am, right? Of course, just in my head, I'm more reserved, but that's just like my personality. But you know, with her and I, it is the perfect balance because Japanese guys treat them so badly, and American women just treat American guys so badly that like when we meet, if both people are balanced enough, it can be a very good union. But that's if that's now here's another thing, Rob. I could tell you what happens to the beta males here too, because there's a plan for beta males.
This is here we go. This is what I needed to hear.
So if you're an alpha guy, like you know, like you know, you guys are clearly independent men, right? Like Vince, I get the Mr. Fantastic vibe from you. Reed Richards, you know what I mean? That's the vibe I get from you, which is very high. Rob, I'm still trying to piece you. I'm trying to. I'm leaning towards Punisher with all those fucking guns in the back.
I know, right?
Don't forget the body armor too, you know.
God, it's badass, man. That's fucking badass. I love that shit, dude. I love the favorite thing in the world for me to shoot is a pump action shotgun. I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
age baby.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But yeah, so okay, get this. So now I'm like your typical, you know, as I call on my show, like I live the hot dude life, right? Like I lift weights, I take care of my fashion, take care of my fitness. I got a little money, and it's no problem for me to date 3-4 girls at the same time, right? That's just the kind of guy I am. And there's nothing wrong with that if you are like that, and there's nothing wrong if you're not like that, right? That's just who I am. And that being said, I'm like, you know, I hate using the terms alpha and beta, but they're just good placeholders, right? Yes. So I'm more of an alpha guy, right? And the relationship works out good with me and my girl because she knows like it's my way or I'm gonna replace her, and she knows in her heart of hearts that will happen, and she knows that she could probably get another dude, but most dudes are betas, right? And they don't want that. Now, when a Japanese girl marries a beta male, it is a sad, sad thing, man. Okay. First and foremost, as soon as you get married, and in Japan you have to pay money to go to marriages because to weddings, which is good in my opinion, because I do support families, especially being raised in a broken, destroyed family. Like I'm a huge advocate of peaceful, loving households. Okay, and when you go to the wedding, you have to pay $300 each person who attends the wedding has to pay $200 to $300 US dollars.
Wow.
And it all goes to the bride and the groom to put on the you have to put to get into a house in Japan. There's a certain system here called key money. It's just like a gift to the landlord, and you have to pay the landlord 1 month of rent completely free. And then you have to pay like 3 months of rent in advance. So moving into a place can cost upwards towards $10,000, right? So, the money is used to push the family forward, right? However, after the honeymoon, then the slavery becomes permanent. Okay. As you know, Japan has one of the lowest divorce rates in the world. But what they do to the man that is beta, the sex slowly stops, okay? And then absolutely stops once the children comes. In addition to that, the wife does not work. She stays home. She takes care of the house. And I'll tell you what, Japanese housewives are amazing. Okay, my girl's mom is A-type, and that house is immaculate. Every time I go over there, she washes my clothes. She fucking feeds me. She cooks whatever I want. And it's done instantaneously and at the highest level. Like that is her dedication. She's not like sitting like, oh, I'm oppressed. She's like happy as shit taking care of me, right? But what they do to the husband is they take complete control of his salary and pay him an allowance out of his own money, even though he's the sole breadwinner. So if you are making $100,000 a year, or let's say $120,000, right? And you make $10,000 a month, you turn over the $10,000 a month to your wife, and then she pays you an allowance that you're allowed to spend, which is usually 10 to 20% of the money.
Wow.
And that's if you let that happen. Jeez. And that's the saying. Women hate beta males. Women hate beta males. And every guy can learn to become alpha like. You may not be in your bones, but you can be a learned alpha and learn boundaries and learn, self-respect and self-resilience, and that kind of thing will develop you into a character that a woman will respect. Because if a woman doesn't respect you, believe you me, she will put you through hell.
Oh yeah.
She will put you through hell.
If you watch little boys playing on the playground, if you pay attention and are self-aware of your own youth, you realize that little boys are fundamentally alpha, and then it's socialized out of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking brainwashed out of us.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, we're told it's not everything we've grown up with is we're told that it's wrong.
Yep, and it's complete insanity, absolute complete insanity. Because that's why I'm kind of happy that I had somewhat of a feral upbringing, is because I was able to maintain some of that like animalistic badass side of me. You know what I mean?
You have to. You
do, because if not, you become in this life. You have to become the predator or the prey. You know what I mean? There's that one saying. It says it's better to be a gardener in
be a warrior in a garden than be a gardener in a war.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and that's why it's a big part. I tell all my guys as well, like, you must learn some form as a man. It is mandatory. Okay. You must learn some sort of self-defense with a physical man. You got to learn karate. No Aikido, none of this fucking Wing Chun shit. Like, I'm talking like something that I can take my hand and crack your skull open if you try to hurt me or my family or anybody you try to do, because there are bad people out there, and they're never going to change. There's always going to be bad people out there. So you, as part of a man, you need to do that. You need to have that as well.
Absolutely.
So let me see if I can summarize kind of what you've said, John, to my question for all the guys out there watching and listening. The reason I brought it up is because I know I've seen it all over the place. You can go back in time to the phenomenon of the mail order brides that a lot of guys, the women in the United States suck, so I will, get a bride from overseas type of thing. Rather they have them imported over here or the guy goes over there. What you've basically said, John, is that it doesn't matter if you go to Japan to meet women, if that's one of your kind of goals, thinking like, well, the big fat heifers here, fuck this, I'm going to Japan because at least they're a lot thinner. If you have that beta mindset, you're going to be fucked regardless of where you go, and not in a good way fucked. Yeah. And so, guys, if you're watching, listening, thinking, hey, I want to go and meet John, I want to go to Japan, I want to get an Oriental girl, which, hey, I'm interested in all that. I've had kind of an Asian fetish that it's like, hell yeah, I like Asian women.
I totally have an Asian fetish.
Yeah, well, I would hope, considering you fucking live there. But it's the idea, guys, that if your mindset, you get to take you with you. You can't run from who you are, and you need to fix you first before you decide I'm expatriating and leaving Europe, or I'm expatriating and leaving Canada or the United States or wherever it is. If you think going to the Eastern Bloc, to the Ukraine or to Russia or to Japan is going to be the panacea, the answer, because all the women are going to fall all over you because you're the white American guy or whatever, you got to get your mindset fixed first, because beta is as beta does wherever you go. And you will be treated as such. And like John said, and I agree with him 100%, women hate beta males. And so if you're doing that, wherever you go, you're going to run into that same issue, that you're putting the bit back in your mouth, you're putting the yoke back on. And it might be good for a little bit, but over the long haul, you're screwing yourself. So you do have to change your mindset, regardless of wherever you go.
Yeah.
So would that sum it up on that one there, John?
100%. It's like the guy who keeps saying, "Oh, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna buy," and he buys a Stairmaster. He buys the entire what was that? Nutriscam, whatever the hell they have back in the States.
Nutrisystem or something.
You know what I mean? Like it was like Nutrilife or something.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the full name.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot. But you buy all these supplements.
Yeah,
but
you buy all the bullshit.
You don't put the work in.
But you have to. It's here. All your problems are here. Every single problem is here. Okay, we are walking organic computers, and every source of pain and discomfort in your life comes from bad operating systems up here. So you have to look up inside of your mind, up inside of your behavior patterns, and analyze your past and analyze yourself and look at yourself and think, where am I going wrong over and over and over again? Where can I make the change? And you have to change internally, okay? And it's like I have this problem with my because I do the consultation. So sometimes people will buy a consultation, right? But they think, okay, I buy a consultation, I'll talk to this guy, then I'll be fixed. But it's like the biggest thing I tell the guys on my show is like, you need to take action. You need to take action in order to better yourself. Because in this life, the truth of life is this: you are either progressing or you are regressing. There, in my opinion, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, but this
100%.
This is my opinion. It's like you are either progressing or you are regressing. And if you're not you have to progress in order just to maintain, because life will be constantly pulling you down. So you have to constantly learn to be pushing forward. And that's what I've got to say. Like, that right there is something that is extremely fundamental to men. And I know there's atheists amongst us and whatnot, but like, even in the Bible, it said, like, God said to man, he's like, your curse is you have got to work for your entire fucking life. You have to work forever. And it's true, because if you stop working, or if Vince, if you stop working, those lights are going off.
Yep.
The food's not coming home from the grocery mart.
Yeah. There's no end point.
There isn't. The end point is death.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do as men. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's why, and that's why I wanted to get on this channel too, because I wanted to network with you guys, because clearly, especially as a guy, I am a fucking super nerd. I am a fucking uber dork, right?
Uber dork. There's the new one.
Nice.
Listen, I cosplay. I do it all.
Okay, cool.
I am a fucking super dork, but I'm also like super douchebag. Go to the club, buy champagne bottles, like
the hot chicks with douchebags guy, huh?
There you go.
I am both, but you know,
Sweet.
the geek stuff is really, that's just part of, that's near and dear to my heart. And like I love, you know, what society would call geeks or nerds or dorks, whatever. I love those people because fundamentally I love intelligent people. And you know, the curse of the intelligent man is that he's so smart that he usually takes a simple problem and he overcomplicates it,
Overthinks it. Yeah.
overthinks it,
Yeah.
and he gets by this paralysis by analysis.
Oh
But
God, yeah.
you know, and it happens to me, and it, you know, but based off of your, oh God, yeah, it probably happened to you as well. You know?
Oh yeah, way overthink things. Stepping on your own dick, getting your own fucking way. Yep.
Yep. So, but the thing is, for the smart guys, you guys have the best potential because intelligence is, it is easy to develop a very nice, sexy, good-looking body. It is very hard to develop an intelligent mind. It is way harder. So if you're a geek, as the society would say you are, you have geeky hobbies or whatever, right? Who cares what they say? I mean, I'm living proof that you can fucking make it happen. Like you can live life on your terms, and whatever your terms are, it will be hard. It will be hard. Pay no fucking mistake on that one. It will be hard. However, it is 100% possible. 150% possible.
Absolutely. Well said.
Absolutely. Woo-ha!
Mhm.
And your chat is lit up here. I love his chat.
I know,
Oh
right?
yeah,
It's
we've
going.
got
It's,
some of the
it's,
best guys.
it's faster than I can keep track of.
No
These
shit,
guys,
right?
These guys are great. We do have really good dudes in the chat. That's for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
very happy with our
just-
audience. That they
yeah,
are
just
some awesome guys.
Just a chat. I can't. I could take a while to go through all the names, but everybody in the
God.
chat, thank you.
Yeah, Metal Drummer 67. He says, John, what was the hardest beta trait you had to overcome? For me, it was approach anxiety. In order to approach, in regarding to dating, it was approach anxiety, as into like walking up to a girl and being like, oh my God, hey baby, what do I do? And like I would freak out, or I would just be, like I said, paralysis by analysis. In the real world, in like man world, the hardest beta trait I had to overcome was it was fear. Like it was fear, because I was working for a company in last year. Actually, this is about the anniversary to when I quit about a year and 2 months ago. I was working for a Japanese company called Recruit Holdings, and Recruit Holdings is the number 20 most powerful company in Japan. And Japan has the third largest economy in the world. Recruit Holdings is the official sponsor of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, right? And I was working for them. I was working for them in the medical device department, and it's, you know, there is racism in Japan, and sometimes it's annoying, but like the fact that a non-Japanese was to get into that company was a huge thing. And then I got to the top of the sales ranks. I made $70,000 in sales with the smallest department, with the smallest database, and the least training in 3 months of joining, right?
Wow.
And again, and this is not like a Jonathan is awesome story, but I'm just saying the hardest beta thing was like I knew I could do more, and I was afraid to quit and just tell the company like, hey, like basically fuck you. Like, because, you know, like I made 70,000 for them, and they cut me a check for 6,000, and they paid it to me 4 months later. And so, I was just like, okay, like if a guy like me, I was like, if a guy like me can come here. And so I quit, but it was terrifying, right? And then I quit the job. And then actually I lost another business that I was running at the time. And then I like last year in September and August and October, each month I had to survive off of $900 a month. And it was fucking like, it was really tough. But then things really turned around once I joined the Red Man Group, and my business, like taking that leap of faith and quitting, turned everything around. And but it's that initial fear and lack of belief in yourself. The scariest thing about men is that, I always say this, like the scariest thing about life for man is you can have whatever you want, whenever you want it, within reason. And if you don't, it's your fault.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've told guys that goes hand in hand with what you're saying, John, is, and I'm seeing kind of a little bit of it in the chat going on too, is it's a weird thing. I call it reality is plastic. Okay. Perception is reality. However you present yourself, guys, that's what people are going to assume you are. Yeah. Okay. So like for me, when I figured that out, it was this burning desire, for lack of better words, this I had to know type of thing where it's like, fuck it, I have to know. It was a young gal, 20 years younger than me. And I had to know, like, what does she taste like? Yep. And I did not care if she slapped me, hit me, blew a rape whistle, pulled a gun, shot me, had me jailed. I didn't care. It's like, I have to know. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to live with myself. So I just went for it. And, you know, funny thing was, she was into it. Okay. So guys, when John says your life's your fault, he's dead right. Okay. You are the only one holding yourself back. While in some ways people are watching you, at the same time, they're not, because everybody's caught up in their own bullshit. Everybody's in their own little spotlight, really. And so nobody's going to give a fuck if you screw up an introduction. Like when he was mentioning approach anxiety, I know exactly what he's talking about. And I think for me, it was it's got to be perfect. I got to say the perfect thing. I got to look a certain way and blah, 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 blah. And it ended up, you know, I'm not going to do it because it's not perfect. Guys, just fucking do it. Just do it. Yeah. And the idea that it's more important that you say anything versus what you actually say is actually more important than how, you know, what it is you say. You don't have to be so witty and charming and all that. Even if it's just, hi, I'm Rob. Nice to meet you. Just fucking say something. Yep. You know, that's what it comes down to. You know, just go big, guys. Go big. Because like Vince said, it's a yes until it's a no. Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of go with that mentality that it's a yes. This woman wants to meet you. She is going to be interested because you are interesting, because you're interested in her. So just fucking do it.
And girls want to have sex too. I've met plenty of them. This guy named Ben Gay says, John, are Japanese women nastier than American women? No, actually, Japanese women are not so sexualized like American women. Japanese girls are pretty in bed. They're pretty vanilla. But the good thing is they're like eager to please. So like very trainable. Like when I first met my girl, she couldn't suck a dick to save her life. But now she's like fucking blowjob champion of 2019.
I have a theory. It's funny. I have a theory on blowjobs and women driving. Yeah, I found that the worse a woman is, like if she's very timid driver, she's bad at a blowjob, and it's been I haven't been proven wrong yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, most girls, in my opinion, for me at least, are pretty bad at blowjobs. Spanish girls, they put their heart and souls into that shit, man.
I can co-sign on that. Yep.
Yeah, they're passionate. They're there to please.
Absolutely.
I'm reading some more of these comments from the Ralstonian report. He says, speaking of fear and overcoming things, what people think of me, I stopped worrying about that when I turned 40 or sometimes in my late 30s. Yeah, you can't. There's two things about worrying about what people think about you. One, it's a never-ending black hole that you're just dumping your energy into that goes nowhere. That only makes you feel depressed. So like, you're not going to be able to please everybody. I think it was Bill Cosby. This is what when Bill Cosby was still like worthy of quoting, but he did say
in the 80s.
Yeah, he said like, I don't know what the key to success is, but I know what the key to failure is, and that's trying to please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to please everybody is just
recipe for failure.
Yeah, just fuck them.
Yep.
Just fuck them. Who gives a shit? Like
Exactly.
I'm a very polarizing guy. You guys should see some of the fucking hate mail I get on Instagram. I get
you in the robe. No.
People either love me or they hate me. And the guys I have like one guy he's on his 5th Instagram account till he makes to like, call me ugly and all these.
He makes fake Instagram accounts to troll you.
Yeah, he's on number 5.
What does that say about this guy? Jesus.
Oh, well, that speaks for itself right there.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
and it's like what Rob and I were talking about is guys voting with their money and their attention.
Vote with your wallet and your attention.
You don't give it any credence with your cash, and you ignore it. You don't click on any links. You don't click any likes. You act as if they're not there. And that's probably the best thing you can do and the worst thing for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bet it chaps that guy's ass when you just ignore him, John. I can imagine.
Yeah, he was some dork, and he was like, these guys, what the hate is really sadness inside them. Well, and, like I said, I'm a guy, I've gone on a date. I've gone on dates with more than 500 women, and I've slept with I'm at like 190 right now. And so and I'm 33 years old. So some people look at that and they see me like I'm out here and, everywhere I go, when you have the aura of like a playboy, like you just kind of, I see girls, I'll be with my girl, but I'll look at another girl and I'll wink at her and just kind of, play with her and then just like disappear. Right. Like you have the aura, you have it with you forever. And when other guys, when you become like me, there's 2 guys you encounter in life. Okay. There's 2 guys. There's guys that admire you, or there's guys that hate you. That's right there. Once you become an authority figure, a power figure, those are the 2 types of men that will come into your life. Those who admire you or those who hate you. And then, but it's a good place to be, because all the guys that support me and shit, I love my fucking audience. I love those dudes. I think, I love, the meeting you guys too. I think that this kind of audience, your chat is real nice. And very educated chat too,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we got some smart motherfuckers here.
They want it.
Where did you get that robe, John? I was going to say, we need a link for that.
I was going to say they want to know where they got your robe, so we can.
So the robe is actually I'm actually a minimalist. This robe was a present from my mom on Christmas in about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So this robe has so many stories that can be told. Oh my God. It's funny.
Stories from the robe.
Oh my God. If this robe could speak, it would probably say, "Watch."
Talk about an Instagram. You got to create an Instagram for your robe.
No shit. Instead of modern life dating, it's modern robe wearing.
That's right. We're a Twitter account. It's like it's shit that John's robe
says. Shit that John's robe has seen.
Somebody make a Twitter account. No, it's funny. I met some of these girls, because some of you guys like tying back into Rob's story, right? When he's like, I just want to know what that girl tastes like, and he went for it and she liked it, right? A lot of these girls, they just look, a girl really wants to be told what to do by a man she respects. She wants to be given a task in order to complete it and make the man happy. That's the truest essence, okay? And if you look at the correlation, the more rights and independence and all these whatever keywords they're giving American women, it's a scientific fact. Women's happiness in the United States is fucking plummeting.
Yeah.
Plummeting. Okay? Now, these girls, right? I remember I'll never forget.
Fucking metal drummer's killing me in the chat, man. There we go. Stories from the robe.
Yeah.
Instead of tales from the crypt, it's stories from the robe.
Yeah, like an old skeleton.
I'm
man
sorry,
bone.
John. I didn't mean to fucking derail this thing, but
No,
oh my
man,
god,
no.
that is some funny shit right there.
It's always good when the laughter flows. Everybody, the guys at home are probably laughing too.
God damn. We're gonna have to have metal drummer on the show one of these days. Jesus.
Absolutely.
So I remember one time, like, okay, so I have this system that I use with Tinder, right? So I'm really good at using Tinder. There's, if you go to my website, I have a free program that you just click on Triple My Tinder. I send you these videos and then you can talk to me about it, but I send you a little hints about Tinder, right? And Tinder for me is just like basically Uber Eats vagina. Like I text the girls on Tinder and then they show up and they see me in the robe and they know what's up. They know what's up the moment they're coming over. The moment they like say, I'm like, yeah, baby, come over. Let's check out my fucking, fucking lightsaber collection or whatever, blah, whatever. Let's check out my Netflix, whatever. Right? She knows she's coming over for sex. And so I remember one time I had this girl come over. She was super hot, man. I'll never forget this chick, 19 years old. And she came over, right? Walked in the door. She saw me in the robe. I was naked under the robe. And she walks through the door. She puts her purse down. She looks at me. She's like, so what are we going to do? And she was so hot. I just pulled her towards me and started making out with her, right? So we're making out like 3 minutes into it. This bitch was a fucking super pro. Dropped to her knees immediately and started undoing my robe and just going at it, giving me a blowjob. So, like, for you guys that are like apprehensive about girls, like, oh, I don't know if girls want sex. Like,
number one, buy this robe.
Yeah.
And then do an Instagram photo of just the robe on the chair with a little hand and a little winky emoji con going,
Yeah. And so that's the same. They love it. They love it. I mean, I've met girls. Dude, okay. One time this girl came over, right? She matched with me on Tinder, right? And we were texting and she started getting some of that hoe anxiety. She was like, oh, you just want me for sex. I was like, no. I think you're a nice person, right? Or whatever. I was like, I think you're a person. I think you're a nice person based off of these 5 pictures I've seen on Tinder and the 10 minutes we've been communicating, right? So, because some of them are in hoe denial. Some of them, they like, okay, like, yeah, they want to get dick down. They know it. They just like kind of feel guilty about it, right? So she comes over. I give her a tour of the place. She lays down on my bed and she's like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, yeah, let's just watch some shit on my laptop. And like within 15 minutes of me meeting this girl, I'm having sex with her. Right. In the robe again, completely naked under. And she's like, you had this planned. I was like, yeah. I was like, why do your bra and panties match? Like, you had this plan too. Like, come on. Why did you come over here? Did you really think that we were gonna watch? You gotta.
Do you think Netflix and chill was literal?
And they know it. They know it. They might play. They may play it.
The anti-slut defense going.
Yeah,
exactly. And then after that, with the girl, it's funny. Sometimes the girls that I fuck the fastest, they always ghost because they're like, they're like, oh my god, like I've never done it that fast before, and like, they feel like sluts, and then they run off into the wild and
go and fuck some other guy.
Yeah, exactly. So. You gotta, if you want to get to a super high level of success with women, right? You have to become somewhat of a nihilist in regarding to looking like for me, like I have a girl and I just assume that every time I'm not with her, there's like a gaggle of Nigerians just fucking the shit out of her.
God, there's a visual.
Right? I just assume that they are dicking her down in the nastiest ways possible at all times because a lot of guys have that cheating anxiety too. So you have to just you know, that's part of it is being nihilistic and just like, hey, listen, the only person I can control is myself. Everybody has free will. If this girl wants to come over and have sex with me, there's nothing wrong with that. If I want to go fuck this girl, or if I want to have 3 or 4 girls that I'm sleeping with, and all 3 of them are telling me to commit to them, and I'm telling them no because I'm seeing all 3 of them, you would be surprised how long those girls stick around. Because actually, Rollo Tomasi is the one who coined it, but women would rather share an alpha than own a beta.
Yeah, be saddled up with a beta. Yep.
Yeah.
And Ernie Clark is a viewer of mine. MLD is nasty as hell.
That's funny.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys there from here. But
Cool.
but yeah, that's just what I say in regards to that. Like, you know, it's totally, it's okay. It's okay to, if you want to have the kind of illustrious sex life, or it's okay, like whatever ideal life that you have in your head, you can achieve it as a man. You can achieve it. You have to cultivate a plan, write it down, set timelines, set deadlines, get accountability. The best and fastest way is to get a mentor, and then from there, you can make it happen.
You got to own it, guys. You do have to own it.
Yeah, you have to take. You have to. I even there was a tweet I had quoted out. You have to take action.
Yep.
You have to always moving forward.
Action is better than inaction, which means you're not going to be perfect. So just fucking do it.
Yeah, perfect is the death of so much. I mean, for myself with my writing, and that's something I struggle with. It's like I want this to be perfect. I want this to be just right, and it needs to be done.
Yeah,
it needs to be done.
This lady taught me this thing. She used to have this thing on her desk when I worked at that corporate job, and she was a pretty heavy hitter, because I worked in the recruitment industry, and she was making the company like sometimes $250,000 a year, and she said, "Done is better than perfect."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and that's what with my show. You know, obviously, I'm a super perfectionist. Like, I want to have like a better set. I want to like perfect lighting, all that shit. But you know what? The funny thing is, I just got it done. And I got to the point that like, I was like, oh, I got to change outfits and everything. And I just said, one day I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to wear the damn robe. And now everybody in my audience, like, we love that robe. Where can we buy that robe? Where can we buy that robe? So it's like, you know, just it doesn't matter where your dreams are. The only thing that matters is that you're marching in that direction, even if it's one step at a time, or if you're sprinting, just fucking go, just do it. That's the most important thing. Take action, because you know the reddest pill of them all is like, dude, we're all gonna die. You're maybe young now and you're procrastinating, but you're not gonna be so energetic. You know, you're not gonna be so ache free. You're not gonna be so injury free the rest of your life. Like, that shit is true and real deal and come for all of us. So there is a time limit, and you want to be, you know, you want to be living a life that is making you feel fulfilled. So definitely a big thing you want to be focusing on is identifying what you want. And you could start by identifying what you want by identifying what you don't like. Like for me, I just hated going to the office. I don't like anybody telling me what to do. Right. I think that's due to like shitty parenting. Right. I think like, you know, like my mom, I just didn't like her telling me what to do. So when the bosses would like yell at me, I'd be like, dude, I'll beat your ass. Like, that's just how I thought in my head. Like, and so, you know, I got rid of that. And like, now it's like, I'm the boss, and, you know, I'm super blessed. But it took, you know, I had to go through hell and brimstone to get here. But like, you know, like the trials that the Padawan has to pass to become a real Jedi, you know, like you have to, we need to like bring back like government instituted rite of passages for men, because other nations do it. Like, you know, in Russia, these fuckers like disassemble guns and reassemble guns in school.
Yeah.
like common day. And like
there's mandatory military service, isn't there?
In Korea, there is mandatory 2 years mandatory military service.
Okay.
Every man.
Yeah.
Every single man.
I think that's a good idea.
It is because, you know, like what do we have in the United States? Drag queen story time.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, we have absolutely nothing.
Drag queen story time. How is that guy 25 years down the road when he's struggling to pay his mortgage? How is he going to reflect on that? Like, well, there's this one time this man was dressed like a woman and like a warlock at the same time, like told me a story about Sesame Street, and I can dig deep into my heart and figure out how to solve this problem. Or he could like look back on like some hard military training or some hard combat training or some shit like, man, life was shit. Like it was difficult, but I overcame it. It gives you that self-belief, you know. It takes a lot of crazy, like there's a lot of people think I was absolutely out of my mind when I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna move to Japan. I think I can pull it off. And they're like, you're crazy. You're crazy. I was like, no, you're crazy not to do anything with your life. And that's where I stand. You know, I say, you know, if normal is, and no disrespect to anybody who does this, but if normal is working a 9 to 5 for your entire life, not exploring the world, not living life on your terms, not, you know, owning your own property, not owning your own shit, you know, not having some sovereignty, if that's normal, I don't want any part of that. Call me crazy, because I want the exact opposite.
Fantastic.
That's a good way to segue into the top of the second hour. That went by fast.
Yeah.
It's already 11. It's
I'm a rambler.
Lunchtime for you and midnight for me.
Yes, it is. It is. Are you guys good? You
we can go on for a little longer. Yeah, I'm still awake. You good, Rob?
I'm good. I can listen and shoot the shit with John all night. I'm good.
Absolutely,
yeah. No, I love it. So let's talk nerdy. Did you guys like how did you like Endgame? I fucking loved Endgame.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, neither have I. Now I've heard
ever since the Captain Marvel debacle.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I heard all the spoilers, so I sort of know what happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you know,
so we can talk about it.
Well, I went, you know, god damn it, you know, fucking Andrew Tate, right?
Oh yeah, well, that's where I got the spoilers from.
That motherfucker spoiled it for me too.
I know. I'm looking at it.
I messaged him. I was like, "You motherfucking asshole!" Like,
yeah.
Oh my god, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's the motherfucker who spoiled it for me. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's just son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was funny.
It was good. But yeah, I think Thanos has been one of the best villains of our time.
Yeah.
Really, one of the best villains of our time.
Because I wouldn't even call him a villain. I'd say he's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He's the hero that we may not want, but he's actually the hero we need.
Yep. That's what he said. He said, you know, that's the balance we need, and it was just done so well. And you know, thank God. Like, you know, looking at what and this is the truth about what's going on with the culture in the United States, right? You know why the MCU is so fucking popular and awesome and doing great is because it's strong masculine characters in a nation where the father is gone and the father is emasculated. Like, this has become the height, the pinnacle of, like, you know, masculine role models. And if you look at the complete opposite, right? Look at what DC does. Okay, so DC completely flopped with the Justice League, right? Terrible movie. You have the Flash, the Flash is like the DC's Deadpool. Flash is talking shit all the time. He's like, "Hey, you're too slow." He's just a shit talker, right? And you have this kid in the Justice League who's like this afraid, meek little beta male little pussy. Like, nobody wants a hero like that. No girl is lining up to fuck a guy like that.
No, and for guys, it's not relatable.
No, it's like, I want to slap the shit out of this guy.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, that right there, like Kevin Feige and everything, they did it perfectly by keeping it traditionally masculine. And then another one is another perfect example. I mean, this is how bad feminism is, and this is how bad women are at managing shit. Okay, they completely fucked up Star Wars, the easiest fucking franchise to manage. The easiest franchise to manage.
It's a goddamn cash cow.
Us three, right? I don't even know you guys that well, but us three, I'm pretty sure we could sit down and come up with a better fucking Star Wars movie.
Absolutely.
Than they did with these last fucking abortions. Like, The Force Awakens was carried by Harrison Ford, right? You know, Rey beating fucking Kylo Ren, and she's like,
what the fuck was that all about?
Okay, I'm Kylo Ren, so let's see.
I've been trained.
But yeah, I've been trained by Luke Skywalker. Then I said, fuck the light side. And then I got trained by the most evil Sith in the entire galaxy. And these guys are my fucking masters. But some bitch who lives in the fucking desert, who just heard about the Force from not even a Jedi, but just heard about Han. Heard about Han, right? Who, by the way, she knew how to operate Han's ship better than he did, even though
that burned my ass. I'm like, what? Come on.
You know, and that's the thing. That's the laziness and stupidity of Kathleen Kennedy, because they thought that because they're so drunk with power in Hollywood, and then the girl power thing is like the worst in California. Like, the worst divorce stories always come out of California. The craziest laws are in California. Like, there's literally shit all over the streets of San Francisco. Like, California is fucked, and that's like where all this shit is coming from. And then you have these psychopaths who are like writing this stuff that makes completely no sense, but Hollywood is such a circle jerk. They're like, oh yeah, this is so great. Like, you know, everybody's just jerking themselves off, and they're not actually looking out of what the fans are saying. And like, dude, the fandom menace. Do you watch Geeks and Gamers with Jeremy?
I don't think I've seen that one.
No.
Okay, Geeks and Gamers is a great channel. But he went on some huge rants about his channel went from like 4,000 to like over 100,000, because he just like every week he would just like ring.
Oh wait, is that the quartering?
No, that's a different Jeremy. Okay. But no, the Quarterings channel is great too.
Yeah. We want to get both he and Rollo on at the same time.
Oh, he's an awesome guy. He's an awesome guy. Yeah, when he got attacked by that dude, you know, that's why.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's why I say all men need to learn self-defense, because let me tell you something. I'm itching for some dude to come attack me, man. I'm like,
oh yeah, somebody's gonna get punched in the throat.
I'm ready. I'm like ready. So, but anyways,
you got the wish factor going on. I wish a motherfucker would.
Yep. Well, you have that aura about you when you go out that you can take care of yourself, so nothing's going to happen to you. That's what you have to start looking like a meek, like
you have to look like a bitch.
Yeah. And then you invite it in.
So, but yeah, just going back to that, like what they did with like Rey, like I hate Rey. The only way for them to save The Force Awakens is like Luke Skywalker has to come back to life permanently, and Rey has to go to the dark side, and then Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren goes to the light side, and then Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren have to kill Rey on screen. That's the only way for them to save Star Wars. Anything else, the fans are not gonna like it. I think they're heading. I think they, because Bob Iger, the president and CEO of Disney, got involved. And the last thing Disney wants is bad press. And that movie brought in like a lot of bad press. A lot of bad press.
Yeah.
Biggest bad press in Disney history. And it's still going. Like, did you see Disney plan to release that animated feature film on the official Disney YouTube channel? And it had like over 100,000 something downvotes.
Oh, wow.
So
that's not a surprise.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know, just them in charge that's what I'm saying. Like, men, it's okay for men to be awesome. It's okay for men to be heroes, because you know what? We're the fucking heroes in real life. All right. when if the fucking Russians decided to invade America, it would not be those fat feminists who are wearing pink pussy hats protesting, running out with fucking fully automatic weapons and pump action shotguns.
They're hiding underneath the table on the couch.
They can't even fit under the fucking table. Or the
well, there's that.
Yeah, you're forgetting the laws of physics here, Vin.
Yeah, large targets is what they are.
No shit. Large, slow-moving targets. Hey, look at there's a silver lining for you guys. When the invasion comes, whether it be the Russians, the Koreans, the whatever, the zombies, the killer machines, and we have to take to the hills with our weaponry, we know that there's going to be a lot of slow-moving targets for them to overcome first. Yeah. So we'll have a head start.
Oh yeah.
They'll be the bait.
So, and that's the thing. Like, if your house is burning down, who comes and saves you? A squad of men. All right. Yeah. If somebody's trying to kill you, you pick up the phone, you call 911. Who comes to help you? Ideally, theoretically it could be a woman, but if I'm in trouble, like I want 6 huge 6'4" gorillas, with fucking machine guns coming to save me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you people on your side that could actually have your back and take care of you.
Yes.
No,
yes.
If you got two police people in front of you, one's a man and one's a short little woman, and one's this big hulking dude, who do you want to protect you?
Yep.
Hello.
Or reverse it. You're the bad guy, and you got the 2 cops that you just mentioned there. Mm-hmm. Who are you going to go up against and probably stand a good chance of beating?
The woman.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You ever grapple or spar or fight with a woman before in a gym?
Yep.
It's hilarious. Call
it grappling
it's
or
easy.
fighting.
It's ridiculously easy.
Yeah.
It is so easy. The other day, my girl put her head down. She's like, I could fight you. And she started like throwing these punches. And I was like, this is so pathetic. It's endearing. Like,
it's cute. It's cute. It's adorable.
Pat her on the head. That's so cute.
I'm like, you have no idea, honey. Like,
Rob and I were talking about this, and I had pointed something out. I mean, I have always said, fundamentally, back when I was in college in the mid-'90s, feminism is penis envy.
Yes.
Writ large. Now it's a business. Now you have women who are pissed off that they can't be men and do the things that men do. So they're starting to be. They want to become that which they really want to be. That's why we're seeing this push to push boys into being little girls. You're having turn like inverting everything, like we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have these standards being changed to allow women into certain realms that only men, because of their biology, could handle.
Yeah, it's hilarious too, like how they and it's funny because they're trying to force something that it's not possible.
Exactly.
Like they made, I think it was the other day, I forget who it was, but there was a squadron of fighter jets in the Air Force, and like they were like, oh, they're like all the feminists were like, finally we have a female-led squadron and blah 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 whatever. And I think she lasted 2 weeks and she retired due to emotional stress. and there's nothing wrong with that, because you know what? You're a lady. Go home, bake a cake, fucking clean up a house and find a man and love him, have children, create a house full of love. Humans have been doing that fucking since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time. I mean, family is one of the best things this life has to offer, other than mind-blowing sex, which mind-blowing sex leads to family. So, the two are intertwined.
They go hand in hand. Yeah.
Yeah. So, why? And like now it's hilarious. What it's really hilarious to me is to see how all these chicks are losing their mind about the abortion stuff. It makes me feel like they are paid protesters. It really does.
Yeah.
Because if you read the statistics, because they're like, what happens if they want an abortion because they get raped? And I think it's like 0.1% of all women get the abortion if they're raped.
Yeah.
But 80% of them is like due to they let the guy come inside them.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're so strong, you're so independent, you're so better than men, right? Because that's what they tell us in the media. That's what they tell us in the commercials. You know, they're better than men, but at the same time, they're oppressed by men, right? So
Can't have both.
yeah, you're so smart,
Pick
you're so
one.
independent, you're so amazing. Why can't you keep your legs closed or track your ovulation or get an IUD or get on the pill? Like, what you know, tell me why.
Yeah. Well, once again, it's no accountability, responsibility. None.
Yep.
None.
Yep.
None.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to see the times really, but I'm optimistic because as I see the state of females progressing worse and worse and worse, I'm actually getting women coming to me now that are kind of like, hey, give me some coaching. Hey, like, how do I not be such a whore? Like, I have females.
How do I not be a hoe? Close your fucking legs.
Yeah. Look, Donovan says it best, right? And he said this, right? He's like, and it's the truth. In order for a woman to be a good high quality woman these days, okay? All she needs to do is close her mouth and close her legs. And what that means is stop fucking every single dude and stop eating so much. Look at your caloric standards, understand what your caloric needs are, and don't go over that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stop slamming back these 800 calorie Starbucks Frappuccinos.
Oh, God.
That are like 90% sugar. And you know, I mean, like I said, you're so smart.
Well, that's
you're
also
so awesome.
feeding. No, that's true, but that's also feeding into this victimhood, this depression and anxiety that seems to be on the rise in this country since probably about the 50s and 60s.
Mhm.
And the massive amounts of sugar, the coffee, and the high fat content acts as it's like chocolate or ice cream. It makes you feel good in that moment. You're going to forget about your troubles. You're going to forget about all the miserableness that you are. And in that moment, maybe for half an hour, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's another consumer technique.
Yeah.
Another way that psychology has been
Weaponized
for selling things.
Yep. And that's what I think all of this all boils down to. I think feminism basically comes down to consumerism because
Mhm.
they did a study and they had like it was 4 people. They had a white man, a black man, a white woman, and a black woman. And they were like, okay, and they told the salesman, like, all right, these people are just they're gonna come buy a car. And like, you gotta fuck them on the price as hard as you can, right? And so the person they fucked the hardest was the black girl. They sold her the car for the highest. The second highest was the white woman. The third was the black man, and then the lowest was the white man, right? And the point I'm trying to make there is like, again, going back to this, it is so easy to sell to women, and women are the consumers, you know, fashion, all that shit. Like, you know, I used to date a girl. Like, when I date girls, I reprogram them. I'm like, you need to stop shopping because all you're doing is buying shit that you're gonna have to end up storing or throwing away at some point. Like, I let them know from day one, I'm a minimalist and you're about to become one too, or you're leaving.
Like, if you want, it's just going to get in my way.
Yeah, and you know,
not for anything.
And like what Tyler Durden said in Fight Club is so true. The things you own end up owning you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and when
very true.
I learned that from moving from Orlando to Tokyo, from Tokyo to Hawaii, from Hawaii to Osaka, from Osaka to back to Florida, and from Florida back to Tokyo. Moving all those times, I remember just taking all this stuff. I was like, dude, I'm sick and tired of having shit. And now I'm legit. Like, the only thing I hoard are my laptops. Like, I have like 3 laptops because I just refuse to throw them away. Even if I upgrade, I keep laptops.
Did you ever get that lightsaber? I remember in the chat you were asking where to buy lightsabers.
Well, actually, so here's the deal. It's fun since you bring that up. So I live in Orlando, and the Star Wars theme park opens August 28th. And in the theme park, dude, and this is hilarious because I'm a 33-year-old man, but I don't even give a shit. So you can build your own lightsaber in the theme park for $200. And
that's actually very reasonable.
Yeah,
I'm forking over my $200.
Nice.
So
we had to bring it back on the broadcast.
No shit, I want to see that badass.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, am I gonna get red or green though? That's
red. Red.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta go Sith. Gotta go Sith.
I know. Green's my favorite color in real life too, and I love the I love Luke Skywalker with the green lightsaber as well.
You got to periscope that shit.
Yeah. I live stream a lot on my Instagram at Modern Life Dating. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram.
I just followed you either yesterday or today.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm always doing live streams on there, and I do Twitch as well. I play games, but I'm actually, after I get ready to to finish the body language mastery Q2 enrollment, what I'm gonna do is buy the like a mobile Wi-Fi setup and a camera. And what I'm gonna do on Twitch is I'm just gonna walk around and live stream Japan, just so people can like see Japan and stuff. So the brand is gonna be, it's gonna, it is Modern Life Dating, but it is 3 parts. It's modern. What is modern? Because I talk about cryptocurrency and stuff like that and technology. Life is about like fitness and health and finances. And then dating is obviously dating, So it's a 3-part brand. So I want to branch out more. And again, I've dedicated my life towards helping men because when some guys come to me, some guys, some big guys, big strong men, and gangster guys. But sometimes they come to me and they're like, "Dude, I have no idea what to do." And sometimes they get on the call and they just start crying and then just like, I don't know what to do. I need guidance. Everybody's telling me I'm a fucking loser. And like there's a silent need of masculine guidance in the Western world right now.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why I said this channel that you're doing is great. What Rollo Tomasi is doing is great. Sam Bada is doing his documentary, Ryan Stone, Donovan Sharp. We're all coming together. The 21 convention. We're all coming together and rising up because that's what men do. We have a history of winning. We fucking created and defeated the Nazis. We're going to be okay. This is just our suffering times, but you can become strong if you just endure and you have a plan too. The most important thing is make sure you have a plan. Have a plan and head towards the direction of your plan, whether it be perfect or not, just keep going. Like that's what it really does. And you will succeed because you're a man. Is that sexist? I don't know. I don't give a shit. I can only tell you about what it's like to be a man because I'm a man and it's been pretty fucking awesome so far. So
oh, fantastic. Just real fast too. You did mention Dungeons and Dragons and a few tabletop and card games too that you're involved in.
Right. So I was involved in, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. I used to run a Chaos Phoenix deck with the Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the beginning, I believe, or Envoy at the end. I forget what it was called. So I used to play that, but I left my card deck down one day in the card shop and somebody stole my deck.
Oh, no.
And so it cost me like $400 to build, and I was 19 at the time, so $400 is a lot of money. And so it got stolen. I rebuilt it, but then the rules changed. And then, once I started getting more interested in girls, that became the new game. But then I also played. I used to play a lot the Star Wars miniatures. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. That was wasn't that what? West End Games put out the role-playing version of that, but then there was the tactical game where you had everything on the grid and you had the actual models, right? Yeah.
Yep. you'd whip out the measuring tape, like, can I hit this guy from here? You know? I ran the I had the Emperor Sith with I had the Palpatine, and he had that Order 66, so you can have clone troopers with you. So I had him, a clone trooper, and an AT-AT, and that was my 100-point team. And I would just use the AT-AT as just like a heavy fire. Clone troopers were just cannon fodder, and then Palpatine would go in and do the dirty work.
Oh no, Sam's having some trouble.
Yeah.
All right. Well, get ready, Sam. Get better, brother.
Yeah. Godspeed. Get to the move to the hospital. Get moving. Don't listen to us. You can watch the replay later.
Yeah, no kidding.
Seriously.
Yeah, much love to you, Sam.
Yes.
Yes, I played that. Much love to you, Sam. We love you too, dude.
I love you too, Sam.
Right now I'm playing. Yeah, definitely let us know what's going on. Yeah, man, that's some serious shit too. That's why you guys gotta Sam, I will DM. I'm gonna call you. I gotta go have lunch with somebody soon, but I will call you. I have your number. I got you. But yeah, right now I'm playing Devil May Cry 5 because I've played it and I beat it. Are you guys playing any games right now? Like, what's like your nerdy vice? What's going on with you guys?
I run a Dungeons and Dragons campaign twice a month with some friends.
Sweet.
I had Aaron Clarey playing for a while. My brother from another John, he was from our other business, Legend of Tabletop. He was playing, but I have to say, like, once in a while, live, like what we're doing now. Well, you take the camera and you pan it over the map, and you'll say, "Oh, move my figure here," and
yeah,
it's too much of a pain in the ass. It's much easier to have, and the camaraderie around the table, and it's like true to the spirit of the game, having everyone around. So I do that twice a month.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't played video games in a while, but when I was running with Diablo, the latest Diablo.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm looking to get back into, because I'm twitching, right? And my Twitch, if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, I'm on Modern Life Dating right there. So I've just been playing because I built like a fucking badass computer recently.
Nice.
I got the art. Are you like familiar with graphic cards and stuff?
A little bit, yeah.
I got the NVIDIA 2080 like GTX.
Oh, nice.
It was like $1,300, but I saved up all my Scooby snacks and I bought it. And it's a tank. But I used to play Final Fantasy 14 when I lived in Hawaii. And the good things for me in video games is like when I play video games, like I don't want sex at all. Like it's the one sex deterrent. If I'm playing a good video game, I'm like fuck the world. Like
everything falls away. It's very zen.
Yeah, I need to go to the gym in order to just like not waste away. I need nutrients, and I just need silence and friends to play this game with. So that's one thing I'm looking to get back into. I want to kind of play a little bit more of a longer term MMO. It's been a hankering of mine. Rob, what about you?
Well, as far as
Aaron's in here.
Well, as far as any kind of games or anything other than oh shit, Aaron's here.
Aaron.
Great. Oh, Mr. 5'9's got no. TJ's not with us tonight, buddy.
No, TJ's traveling.
I like this guy already.
Yeah.
I like this guy already.
Yeah. Mr. 5'9. No, I'm actually not playing any games right now other than with the arsenal that you saw behind me. So I'm playing live action games, I guess.
Yeah.
Going to the gun range type of thing. That's mostly what I've been doing, that and just reading. And there is one game I play on my phone, and it's got to be one of the dumbest fucking games I've ever encountered, but it's addicting, and it's called Hustle Castle.
Okay.
And it's actually kind of, it's dumb, but it's kind of fun, but that's about it. Oh, Jesus, Aaron, hush. I do not sound like a Southerner.
No, you definitely don't.
Are we hearing the same person?
Apparently not. Aaron hears his own things. I think Aaron's drinking again, is what I think.
Aaron's back on the sauce.
Yeah.
These are all the symptoms of a drunk man behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
Aaron, aren't you playing Red Dead Redemption?
Oh yeah, somebody's Carl from Black Label Logic is going to play that next as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately. Like I went on I recently. You guys do a lot of traveling. When was the last time you left the country?
Oh jeez.
Oh God.
That's been a while. It was like 2010, 2011.
Oh, why don't you leave?
I just been doing a lot of stuff around the United States. There's just so much to see. I mean, I do want to get to Italy, Spain, Japan.
Yeah.
So they are on the list with like in the next 5 years.
Yeah, definitely. You have a passport, right? You're not one of those people, are you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I do have a passport.
Yeah, I got mine too. I got my passport, but for me, the reason I haven't done anything is, let's see, I was married for 5 years and then in an LTR for 4 years and did a lot of in-state traveling, a lot of, around the country here. But as far as leaving the country, it just never really came up.
Dude, it's awesome. You should, it is
well, we need to go to Japan.
Come.
Coming out to visit you. It's a Masculine and Geek trip.
Dude, I tell everybody, like, I've actually met some people. I'm actually coming to the USA. I'm going to do a little bit of a USA tour with my boys on my channel. But I mean, you guys, you're part of the squad now too. So if we can swing through, I mean, my brother's over in Wyoming. And let me tell you something, man.
You're right next door then. Dude,
I fucking love Wyoming. I love that place. I went from Wyoming. I thought, so I had 2 legs of the trip, right? It was me and my girl, and we went to see the family and stuff in Wyoming. We were seeing rabbits running around and a deer, and like there was like 1 Wendy's in the whole town, and everybody in Wyoming so nice. They got manners. Good morning, how you doing? I'm like, this is how America used to be. And I like some guy the other day, he tried to fucking rob somebody in Wyoming with like a machete.
Shot, didn't he?
It got shot dead, dude. He got shot. He got shot dead. Like Wyoming. My brother sent me pictures in Walmart, and he was like, dude, he was like, look at this. And he sent me a picture. The guy had a Bowie knife on one side and a fucking like a .356 Magnum revolver on his left hip. And I was just like, or maybe no, 357, right? Yeah, 357. Yeah. And and he had a cowboy hat on. I was like, this is the America I love. So, and then I went to Denver, and then it was just like, oh my God, just like a liberal shithole. Bunch of just like there was a picture of like a girl in a hijab and like on the highway, and it was like, basically it was like, don't be racist to her. I'm like, what? Like, who is running around like pushing down girls in hijabs? Like, why? What? It was just, when I see I'm sales marketing, so when I see blatant propaganda, I'm like, can you lie and manipulate better? Like, just, can you trick me better? Is it this easy to trick people? So, and then just the vibe of Denver, everybody had like this scowl on their face. And like, I remember this girl, like I vividly remember in Target where I saw the fat mannequins. I was so scarred in fucking Target. Like, you go to Walmart to see the fucked up stuff. The Target, you're like, you feel safe there. Like, it's like the upper echelon, right?
You think you're safe.
Right? So this girl was walking down the alley or the aisle in yeah, I know, right? I don't it's
That's
funny
Walmart.
When you live in Japan, it's funny, your English actually gets worse because you use it less often.
Gotcha.
So no, this girl was walking down the aisle and I couldn't believe it. She was talking on the phone and she was like, well, fuck that fucking bitch and fuck this shit and fuck. Like, and I was like, there's children around. It's 7 o'clock at night. And I'm just like, yo, like, this chick needs an uppercut. Like, my God, like, you parents failed. Your parents completely failed with you. Like, I'm a savage. And I cuss and stuff, but we're just like, this is like a rated R show. So like, it's okay. It's not like there's kids around, but seeing that stuff, just like, ugh. But when I stayed overnight in Utah, and man, Utah just had a good vibe to it. Utah, in my opinion, Utah
Yeah,
had
well, when you make your US tour, let me know, man. You can come hang out here.
Yeah, no,
So,
I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down.
Since
I'm
you're going to be
excited.
next door in Wyoming, I mean, that's depending on which part of Wyoming you're in. You're not far. So
I'm in the most popular town in Wyoming, bro. Cheyenne, brother.
Cheyenne, nice. Yeah, it's not too far.
Population 60,000, man.
And it's the capital of Wyoming too.
Oh man,
Wyoming,
you gonna be on the East Coast at all?
I'm going to Florida. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be heading Florida. So no, I'm actually you're gonna be you're up in I might go up to New York because I may or I don't know. It depends on how much of a quality trip I want to have. I may or may not bring my girl. I may send her home halfway through. Like, if I go up to New York, I don't want to bring her because like she's like a delicate girl from like the Japanese countryside.
New York may be a little overwhelming.
Oh,
in Vietnam, she was like, "Hey, let's go down this sketch ass alley." I was like, "Baby, they have knives." Like, no, like,
jeez. Well, if you go to New York, I can meet you up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I got some pals up there, and we were thinking to go see the fucking the Statue of Liberty. So we'll see. First things first, I got to get this launch going. But actually, guys, unfortunately, I want to stay, but I have to go to meet.
No, we're running. We're getting close to 3 hours, so we're good. We did a good run. It went very quick.
Really
fantastic discussion.
How long have we been going?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
There you go.
Holy shit! I thought we were just coming up on 2 hours.
No,
we've been. This is definitely, I think, the longest episode we've had so far to date.
Yeah,
I have that. I have that effect. Sorry.
No, it's good.
Apologize. No, good stuff. So let's do some housekeeping here, John. Where can everyone find you if they don't know already?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I'm doing right now, so you guys obviously know about my life and my my struggles and how I overcame it. So every quarter I bring in a group of men and I personally coach them, and you have lifetime access to me. And how that is, it's through my body language mastery course. I'll put the link in the chat right there. Just click on that link, body language mastery. Click on that link and then click on the link to add your email address, and then you will put your best email address in there, and I will be able to give you 1 hour of a complete body language program from head to toe. I will teach you how to fully analyze a female's body language in order for her for you to determine, is she interested in me or not, so you don't waste your time on dates and with bad women, right? And then you get access to 1 month of training with me. So we basically come into a private room like this, and there's 10 to 25 of us. And I have other guys who come in, like Rich Cooper came in, and from Entrepreneurs and Cars, and he charges $1,000 an hour for consulting. And he did 2 sessions with some VIP guys in the group. Black Label Logic came through. Ryan Stone came through. I mean, on these upcoming webinars, you guys are welcome as well, because you guys are authorities as well. So it's just a man's place, and it's uncensored. You can say what you say. There's no like, oh, don't say that, don't offend this. Like, we're all men. We handle it like men. And then the third part is you get into the men's only Facebook group, where I have to screen you in order for you to enter. But in there, we have guys negotiating 6-figure salary upgrades, making thousands of dollars of cryptocurrency, who are getting sex, losing their virginity, getting sexed out. It's a very, very good network of powerful men who have the same mindset of us, like, kind of that red pill mindset. So it's a good digital community to be part of. It's only $397, and it's only available for 5 days, because I put the time limit and the price at those points because I only want to attract guys who are serious about it. So it's $397, and it's only available to get in. You can only enroll on June 28th, June 29th, June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd. After that, it's closed, and you can only get in quarter 3 and quarter 4. But quarter 3, the price goes up to $497, and quarter 5, the price goes up to $597, and then it's cut off. You can't get in, and then it is what it is from that point on. So that's what I got going on. If you want to watch me, I'm on every morning, 9 a.m. Go to my channel, Modern Life Dating, and I do a show every day, 9 a.m. So if you want to wake up and listen to me on the way to work or in the gym or something, I do a show. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is Red Pill stuff, and then Wednesday I do the Tokyo Crypto Show where I talk to people about cryptocurrency. I've made a little bit of profit with Bitcoin and whatnot. So there is a lot of money to be made in Bitcoin, but it's very confusing space for a lot of people. So we have a very elementary level education at this point, so guys can clearly understand what they're getting into and how to maximize the opportunities that present themselves with cryptocurrency at this moment.
Excellent. Rob?
All right. You can find me at robsays.net, ROBSAYS.net. That's my blog, my flagship. I've got all my links to my YouTube channel. I put out a couple articles a week, at least one video a week, sometimes more. And my anchor.fm is also there. If you don't want to be tied to your laptop or your big screen or whatever you're viewing, you can download it and listen to it while you run, walk, drive, do whatever you're doing. But that's where you can find me. Vince?
Absolutely. Well, yes. Last but not least, you can find us obviously masculinegeek.com, here on YouTube. We also have SoundCloud if you want to listen to us on your way to work, you're working out. As Rob says, anything that doesn't involve visual and you want to just listen in, you can do that. Go over to SoundCloud. I'm working on getting the iTunes as well. And also hop on the website and sign up for a newsletter. You get, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Eden. You get unique content that we don't talk about during our live broadcasts. So every Monday you can start your week off right with Masculine Geek. Set that off in the morning, and you get content from TJ, Rob, and myself. It also serves a purpose that if anything were to happen with the website and or the YouTube channel or any of the other venues we have a way to get the word out and a way to get connection to you. So go ahead and do that. We don't spam, like I said, once a week on Mondays, and you'll be all set. All right, everyone, it's coming up on the 2-hour and 45-minute mark. We're going to say goodnight. Everyone in the chat, thank you for dropping by. If you're listening to us later, thank you so much, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Good night.
Yep.